vice and virtue according. Hello, everyone, and welcome to twitch.tv/the Onyx Path. I am Travis Legge. I will be your story guide for tonight's tale, tonight's Contagion Chronicle. When last we met, our heroes were in a bit of a precarious position in the city of Lyndon Station, Wisconsin. But before we get into resolving that, let's go ahead and have everybody introduce themselves real quick. Tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, anything they would like to promote. And we will kick this off today with a Mint. Please give us all of your pertinent details.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mint. I go by any pronouns, and I will be playing Silas Curse tonight. A very, not over it, but kind of almost over it kind of person, artist, Bimbo, holding a fire axe. Totally the combination you want. They go by they, them. As for anything to promote right at the start, nothing right at the start. Oh, make sure you go drink some water because it's been a long day. Even if it's getting colder weather, you still need water. Go do that, or
Absolutely.
Silas will find you.
Hydration is key. We are all part water, so it's best to drink up in abundance. Next up, that will bring us over to the will. Please, your pertinence.
Hello, I am the Will. I am a he they. I am playing Jason Smith, a he him. I don't exist online. If you want to find me, however, you can find me in hints on the Rolling Nomads Twitch channel or at _ Rolling Nomads on Twitter. I will post there like once in a blue moon, so I think I've done it once, period, because I try to time them with the actual blue moons, which is very hard. As it stands, and you can catch us on our YouTube channel. As for hydration, yes, stay hydrated. Humans are very much water. However, that does not mean you can take the water from other humans. I have learned this.
Yeah, do not try to drink directly from the tap. It's a bad idea. You get all sorts of extra stuff in there. As many of you will probably find out this evening. And speaking of directly from the tap, I don't know. That was the worst segue ever, but Sasha, please give us your pertinence. I'm in
Travis.
Now I'm in a contest with Gilbert to see who can have the worst intro. Gilbert's way ahead. Trust me.
You will never meet my illustrious dungeon master.
You were saying?
Hello, I am Sasha. I will be playing Margaret Stark. I am she, they, she, her. Yeah, we're gonna be having a good time tonight. My character's already made mental breakdowns, so let's see how it goes. As for any things to shout out, trans rights, human rights, that's about it. That's all I got. And follow me at Hey, I'm Spidey.
Beautiful. And last but not least, our dear friend of the channel, Kevin, please, your pertinence.
Hi, I'm Kevin Zarnicki, voice actor, game designer, he, him. I'll be playing Christian Donovan, also a he, him, a man with a dark secret who's been running away from it and financing it with smuggling in a car. Nothing sexy like Han Solo, just regular old mule in a POS trying to make the ends meet and stay ahead of the forces that pursue him. But that's hardly his first problem here in Lyndon Station. As far as anything to shout out, for heaven's sake, people, get your shots. Be good to each other. Show a little empathy. It's not that hard.
Please do all those things, especially the shots part. The rest we can work on, but go get a shot.
If you gotta be greedy, then at least operate with enlightened self-interest. The nicer the world is, the nicer the world you get to live in.
Yep, I concur and co-sign. I guess that leaves me. I'm Travis, he, they. When I'm not running games, I'm writing them. I'm also obligated to tell you that tonight's tale is part of the Shards of Contagion supplement, which is available over at Drive Through RPG, well, specifically through Storyteller's Vault. Myself and several other authors worked on this. It's a collection of settings that were either originally released for mirrors in the old first edition Chronicles of Darkness, back when it was called World, or advances of those concepts that have been brought out in the interim, and it filters it all through the Contagion Chronicle. So if you run into anything that you find super weird in this campaign, it's probably because of that book, and I've put a nice link in the chat there. Also, I'd like to thank the Sirens of the Silver Stream for letting you know that you can, in fact, die of water poisoning. That's true. So be careful when you're hydrating that you're not overdoing it. But that takes, you have to try real hard. Gallons in a setting, probably.
It's not an episode of House. Like, you gotta want to do this.
You have the perfect cliff note. It's just go check out an episode of House and they'll tell you how much water you can safely drink. Next up, I also want to let you know that right now Scion God is on BackerKit. We have blown through our base goal. We are into stretch goals. Last I looked, I think we had unlocked the third one. Forgive me if I'm misspeaking. But there's a lot that you get for backing right now. If you head over to BackerKit, it's a new method of crowdfunding that we're taking, going directly to BackerKit. So it's very exciting for us, and we want to see it get out there as far as it can. So if you've already backed it, go spread the word, share it to your friends, so on and so forth. Get the word out there. We want to take it as far as we can and be able to bring as much to the Cyan fans as we possibly can. I also want to just bring up that game night, Onyx Path game night, is this Friday. We run a game night the last Friday of every month with our partners over at Start Not Playing, and it's a perfect opportunity to get together, try out some new games. Right now, to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Onyx Path Publishing, we have each month we focus on a different game line. This month's game line is the They Came From line, and right now They Came From Beyond the Grave and all of its associated supplements are 90% off over at DriveThruRPG. So you could go pick up the They Came From Jumpstart for like 20 cents or something along those lines. It's absurdly cheap. And get together with a group for Onyx Path game night and just say, hey, I would like to run this. I've never run it before. Let's get some people who've never played it before and try something new. And you're taking a very minimal risk. It's you pay a few cents for the jump start, maybe even make a few bucks for running it. So all the details are at the link I just shared in the chat. Consider heading over there and signing up and playing some games this weekend. You can also, if you're looking for a group for that, check out the Onyx Path official Discord. There's a channel dedicated to game night in there, so, and a couple of looking for group channels. So get together with some friends, play some games. It's Halloween weekend, do something spooky. I think the bills are paid. So speaking of something spooky, Sasha, you're inside this house. If I'm not mistaken, you're the only one that's fully inside the house at the moment.
Believe Kevin was here as well. I think Christian was about to grab me and
Right. So thank you for the reminder. So Christian, you put your hand on Margaret's shoulder, and just as you do, you both see the gears on the nearest wall start to glow. And as they glow, they start to shriek and scorch and scream and squelch and make various sort of high-pitched, tinny, almost bell-like noises as they start to undulate within the wall. They begin to protrude a bit. You notice strange markings on some of these gears. You catch one that's vaguely the shape of an eye. And as it sort of twists around and extends further outward with additional protrusion on the other side coming to match it almost like a second arm, you see that thing that vaguely resembles an eye start to take on a jelly-like quality, poke out into the third dimension and become an eye.
It's the nun!
As
Run!
the tinkling sounds begin to take on a vocal quality, and you're pulling, I assume, Margaret, like, run, let's go. Margaret, are you getting up or are you resisting standing up?
Am I still screaming, it wasn't me over and over again?
At the moment when you are grabbed, yeah.
Okay. Am I here or am I still seeing?
Oh, you look over and you definitely see this. And when you look over and make eye contact with one of its several eyes, its voice calcifies into something that's not quite human, but is understandable. And it says very clearly to you, be not afraid.
That's the opposite of what I want. No, let's go. Let's go.
All right, you start running for the door. I'm going to need, let's do, how about a pair of athletics rolls, please?
Oh, great.
Athletics and what?
We can go with dexterity.
Okay.
We can go with dexterity.
Not a chance die for me then.
No hits.
Okay.
But this seems important, so I'll spend a point of willpower for another 3 if I may.
You may.
No hits. Oh, no successes. Yeah.
1 hit.
All right.
Can I use that hit to motivate the both of us out?
You can make a choice. One of you can get out that door before it slams. Which one is it going to be? Or you can try to hold. You can use that success to try to pry the door, but that's going to be an extra round that you're definitely in the doorway.
Sasha, if you want a dramatic moment with this thing, I'm not gonna take your agency on this, but my instinct is to push you out.
Yeah.
So what kind of story do you want?
I would like for both of us to get out if possible. So
I love you too.
If it means just opening the door and just we're vulnerable for a turn, I'm willing to risk it.
Okay.
So those of you who are in the car now, the fog is effectively swallowing the car as you see the door fly back open, and you can definitely see something with far more eyes and very bizarre configurations that appears to be made largely out of mechanical moving parts that don't look like they fit together in the background of that sort of room that you're looking into.
Sounds like Helsing by way of Geiger.
A little bit.
I was the coward who ran to the car, not getting out of the car.
All right, excellent. You stay in the car. Now, Silas is still on the porch.
Oh, yeah.
So you see this, and you also hear "Be not afraid."
We're going to do something stupid. Because Silas has their conditions boxes filled, so we need to get rid of one of them.
All right.
I'm assuming if I have more than a few, one of them has to be immediately dumped, no matter what the cost. So I would like to try and satisfy the spooked condition, because after looking and thinking, Silas has now witnessed and experienced something that has given all sensation, something that has apparently experienced no sensation, and now they're experiencing this. So instead of trying to maneuver, get anyone else away from it, do anything to it or attack, they are just going to spend the turn using taste merit to kind of get a gauge of what's this thing's purpose, or at the very least, what's its design like?
Oh, sure. Okay. Go ahead and so the taste merit, does it list any particular systems that are attached to it? Like roles that it generally bonuses for?
So the taste merit, not me forgetting which page is on. Give me just 1 second, y'all. Totally remember which page this is. It's perfectly fine. Just 1 second. Okay. Merits.
56.
Thank you.
Upper left-hand corner.
Thank you.
Looks like crafts or expression.
Okay.
Why don't you make a wits roll and the skill that it is attached to, if you don't mind.
I got you. So we'll do it through wits and crafts. That's 5 dice. Sorry, y'all. I completely forgot to put down the details of that because I remember typing it and not saving it.
You are all good.
All right.
Crafts for architecture. Yeah, architecture. That nothing else is going to come close.
It's a type of architecture.
This is as good as we're going to get.
Shit. I'm going to spend a willpower. Wow. That's a resounding dramatic failure because we have nothing above 8, but we do have a 1.
You only dramatic fail on a chance die.
Oh, thank God. Then
So-
yeah, let's just
Or by
Or
choice.
Or if you choose to dramatically fail at this point, you can take a beat. And
you shouldn't have, because I would like to do that.
excellent. What is your dark aspiration, if you don't mind?
Hurt a cheating partner.
As you look at this thing and you get lost inside of its form, its shape, its function, the movement, the spinning, what you don't notice, but everyone else who has eyes on it clearly does, is that these machine parts are coming together to form something of like a bizarre parody of a human form. But what you notice instead is, please, what was Silas's first lover's name?
Their name was Anthony.
Instead of this vision, you clearly see a bedroom, Anthony's bedroom in his apartment. And he is in the bed. And his is the only form you can truly identify in that bed. The rest of the bed is just limbs and naughty bits and hair and just a puddle of flesh that is writhing around his form.
It's not as much a face crack as much as a face egg going. Just a smile, axe being held. I gave you some of the best years of my life. I was there for you. And they're just stepping forward, axes coming up.
So in the doorway, you hear this. Is the now mostly calcified humanoid form that looks like if you made a sculpture. Your best friend in college was Cass, the girl who was injured with Cindy. Is that correct? Is that what we established last session?
I believe
Awesome.
so, yes.
Finally,
Yes.
finally, it's stuck in my goldfish brain. This looks like someone constructed an effigy of Cindy out of like speaker wire and random cogs and bits of pipe.
My face blanches. I am fumbling for words, gasping for breath, and I just look to Christian and I just go, "Please get me out of here! Get me out of here!
I've come to help you.
Get me out of here!"
Go, 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 go.
As you rush out the door, Silas purposefully walks directly past you. Silas, what would you like to do to this puddle of flesh that also includes a jilted lover? Yeah.
Can I react to clothesline, just like corral? No, 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 no.
You can try based on whatever Silas rolls. Silas is not aware of you, so I will give you an additional 3 dice on your attempt.
Neat.
But so I guess you would probably make like a brawl roll to try to get a hold of Silas.
I guess, yeah.
And Silas, you would just make whatever roll that you're planning on making with that axe normally.
1, 2, 3 hits.
Okay.
I'm wondering. Question. Have I shaken spooked off yet, or is that still
The spooked,
applicable right here?
the spooked condition is effectively gone, and you have gained a
Okay.
beat for it.
All right.
You also gained a beat for failing forward, so you got 2 beats there. But Yeah, you're no longer under the effects of that condition. Now you're just
Okay.
seeing something that is not congruent with what everyone else is seeing.
They'll take a look, just shaking with anger. When you were sick, I took care of you. When you needed me to drop everything for my career and do something for you, I did it. You said you loved me. You said we would
Silas,
future.
Silas, honey, it's not real. It's not real. We gotta go.
Oh, I
It's not
have a
real. We gotta
future,
go.
and it doesn't have you in it, and we're
We're
gonna attack
moving.
with it.
We're moving. We're moving.
Excellent. Go ahead and make that weaponry and strength roll. If you get more successes than Christian got, you will press past and bury the axe in the first vaguely fleshy thing you encounter.
Roger that. So we have 2 strength and 2 in weaponry. Sadly, I don't want to spend willpower willy-nilly yet because I feel like I might need that soon. 1 success.
All right, so you bring the axe forward and you feel like tension as you're caught basically by Christian, who starts pulling you away. And as soon as you feel that tension, the vision slips away, turns to ash in front of you. And as the ash blows free, you see this humanoid creature looking somewhat puzzled and says, "Please, I have come to deliver you good tidings from your Lord and Master."
Save it for group. Save it for group. Let's go. Let's go.
No, like, go with me.
You drag everyone back to the car. The creature now makes its way onto the porch. As it steps onto the porch, you see it hold a hand out and some like wiring shoots out of its fingertips and goes down into the remnants, what is left behind of the man that you murdered on the porch. I guess not murder. You killed in self-defense on the porch.
It's only murder if it's human. It's fine.
Right, that's fair. And these wires, as they hit, it sort of almost like slowly picks that person apart. And if you'd imagine like a wiring harness comes off the hand and stays there as it continues walking toward you, and these wires are just shredding that thing to pieces, reducing it to its component parts.
Still want to go with them? Still want to go that way?
He earned this. Let go.
Please, I come to bring you help. I come in peace. You are at the car, so what would you like to do?
I am turning Silas around and like police scooting head into the back seat. Look, if you dated a calculator in your past, that's very Superman 3 of you. We don't have time for this. We got to go.
Nice.
Since you won the role, full permission to do whatever.
All right.
Yes, they're shoved in.
You all pile into the car. As you do, you realize that Arlo is like twitching and like slides into the back seat and is like, I can't drive right now. And you see like parts of Arlo's skin shattering and like reforming into slightly different arrangements, leaving behind a almost like cracked mirror sort of scarification pattern.
Okie dokie. Get into the driver's seat. I got the keys when I went back, right?
You did. And once again, his eyes are blinking in 8 separate instances where the lids have been shredded and separated.
Fluttering
Like
like the antenna of a moth.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So-
curtain blinds.
So what would you like to do? It is completely fogged over.
I'm gonna do a memory check if I can.
Sure.
That's wits plus composure, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
So this is why I like characters with like spatial memory traits. So yeah, a wits plus composure. That's a good roll. I got 6 for that. 1. I got 1. I'm going to try to remember which direction, in as much as space and time matter right now, which direction would be driving that does not take us into trees.
You're fairly confident that you can navigate your way onto the road. How many successes did you get?
Just 1.
Yeah, you back up. You hit something, but it's small, and hopefully not alive. And you get onto what feels fairly smooth. You have only your own memory to go on as you look at. There is kind of like you see like there's a little compass on the dashboard that's just spinning.
Why wouldn't it be?
Is there a glass of water that's about to start vibrating?
As you're driving, the radio turns on and starts moving back and forth between various different stations.
Exasperated looks at radio. What do you want?
Can we just go like 5 minutes? Can we just have 5 minutes, please?
No, we can't have 5 minutes. Gestures vaguely to everything.
I was just looking at the axe in their hands. I was really about to kill that thing.
No, you
Okay.
weren't.
I was worried there for a moment that she
I don't-
had caught the axe murderer.
I don't think you would have done a damn thing to it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't want to go anti-Yoda here, but you'd have tried, but you would not.
How fast are you driving?
Fast as I can get away with. Like,
We could probably
you know,
survive a crash at 15 miles an hour.
yeah, like
That's faster
you know,
than most people sprint, so.
yeah.
All right, so just going a nice 15. Go ahead and give me a dexterity. Actually, let's do wits and drive.
I like that. I like that. All right, and inconspicuous doesn't really count.
No.
Specialization. Ooh, got a 10. What got me nothing. Okay, I've got 3 hits.
Excellent. You drive along, and you can sort of like if you're really squint, you can kind of see like the shadowy sort of silhouettes of buildings as you get into town. You're confident that if you stopped right now, you would be by the church, but you can also continue going out the other direction, try to either get out of town past the fog or out toward the farm.
Okay, vote time. We've got church with jelly vision, and at least according to you folks. And then we've got the farm. What's it going to be?
No. Well, Church Lady could disintegrate the people.
Already driving on.
Yeah, I guess my vote is for farm too. She's just burying her face in her hands and just trying to
All right.
massage away the migraine headache she's forming.
You continue on, and as you do, you come to an area where all the silhouettes have gone. It's wide open space. There's no buildings to speak of. You're not quite sure where to turn off to head toward the farm. You are pretty sure, if memory serves you properly, that this is all farmland once you get to the edge of town. So if you wanted to beeline for it, short of hitting a farm animal or some farm equipment, you can kind of turn wherever you want. But you have no way of knowing where the road is without waiting for the fog to clear or getting out and trying to investigate up close.
Opinions?
Silas is still just staring at the axe, just hasn't said anything for a hot minute.
We're We're in the
Yeah.
fog. That man is clearly doing something. We're probably heading towards the creator or the instigator of this incident. He's our most powerful weapon right now. He's comatose. I'm willing to bet we probably passed another one of those random slashers who can conveniently see through the fog. Because of course, why not today? This is just the kind of day this is. So we got to keep moving. However, if we go too fast, we might accidentally hit an animal. And I don't want to. And I'm fairly certain if we hit a cow fast enough, it's just going to kill us. So I don't know at this point. Whereabouts was this farm? Yeah, like it was like what? 15-minute drive? 15-minute drive at speed. This is country road, so they're probably going 40, so it's probably going to take us about an hour to get there at this point.
Christian might know, but Travis knows.
Yes.
Do I know how far away the farm is? Like, I can get us there?
So yeah, you're looking at probably about 8 miles of country of driving through the fog. The road is fairly straight if you can find it. It is late in October, so chances are good most of the harvesting is probably either done or in process. So there's a non-zero chance you'll run into a giant piece of industrial farm equipment, but
Let's take the road as we can, like, say 10 miles an hour. Let's just preserve our ride because I don't want to be walking this.
Realistically, if we're going that slow, we could literally just open the door and every once in a while just tap a foot down. Does it feel like pavement? We're getting too close.
Sure, Jason, you open your door. Sounds great.
All right.
Look, I'd love to hang my head out the window, but I'd also like to not be pulled out the window.
That's a wonderful point.
But we could probably feel the shoulder of the road if we started going over it. And if you hit something at 10 miles an hour, it's not great, but it's sure not going to kill your car, and it's sure not going to kill the occupants.
Chances are pretty good, yeah.
The problem is this car has already hit something.
Do you?
Its time is limited.
So you're not going to open the door and check then?
No. I like my feet.
You drive along for about 20 minutes. You're now completely spun around. You have no idea where you are. You're not sure if you're going the right direction. You haven't really turned much, so you must be somewhere, right? And as you're pulling along, you see a humanoid silhouette up ahead, not directly in your path, a little ways off, but it looks like a person kneeling.
I don't suppose anyone's on board for asking for directions.
You know.
I could.
No. Let's not.
We'll just pull. We can just pull up. I'll stick my head out the window. It'll be fine.
You know,
Were you not here for the conversation like 20 minutes ago?
Maybe ask, but keep the head in the car.
But how far away are they? We can see them, so I imagine they are within 5 yards of us at this point.
Yeah, they're not far at all.
How thick the fog is.
They're not far at all.
I'm gonna roll my window down about 2 inches, because reasonably he could get just his hand
Right.
there, but I can also stick something out and pull to a way where you could start moving away from him. Or her. It's hard to tell.
You're gonna.
I'm gonna creep up, kind of maneuver past Jason as he's sitting there to kind of
Just
lean my head out, not out his window, but just up to his window and go, hello?
You can see now, again, it's obscured by the fog, but you can make out enough to make out that this is a woman. Looks like she's probably in her 70s or so. And she is kneeling on what appears to be asphalt. That's a good sign. You're probably on or near a road. And she has like an old school like washboard bin. And she is currently, it would appear, grating the flesh from her knuckles off on it and weeping.
I turn my head. I don't think she's going to know where we're going to go. I think this is a...
I crank my window all the way down. Excuse me, miss.
She looks up, confused, slowly for a second, and says, "It won't come off."
No, not yet. But when we get to the farm, it will. Do you know how to get there, by the way?
That's very unspecific.
Farm? There's farms all over.
What's his nuts? What's his name?
You know
Volts.
the name?
Volts. Volts' farm?
Yeah, Volt's farm.
Yeah, Volts.
He lives right up the road. Quiet fella.
Could you
Didn't-
point which direction?
He brought me some
Use your
bacon.
nubs.
He brought me some bacon when my husband died. And as she points, like you see, like the finger is like it just looks like shredded flesh, like dangling from the back of the hand. And she says he was very kind. Brought over pork chops for the funeral.
Yeah.
Nobody knows, but every day for 6 months, I put that just a little bit of poison in his coffee. And finally he got what was coming to him, but I can't get it off. I can't get the blood off. And she starts scraping her hands against the washboard again.
Hey, ma'am, I think you'll get the blood off if you stop doing that and give it time.
You don't
Blood kind of
understand.
just vanishes.
You don't understand. I have blood on my hands.
But yes, you're currently bleeding from your hands, ma'am.
Silas is gonna look to the rest of the car.
Let's just go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's just leave her to it.
Thank you.
I need to test something.
The driver's seat and go, let's go.
I am.
Hold up. I gotta test something.
Foot's on the accelerator.
Are you holding or are you?
I'm
Yeah.
holding. Silas wants to play. Let's play.
Let's look.
Silas is gonna go to their door and look to everyone. Anything happens,
Please don't get out of the car.
just gun it.
Just please don't get out of the car.
Silas, if I have to shoot you, you're one of the few sane people in this place. I'm not going to.
I think we all just saw that I'm not as sane as I'd like to think.
Well,
But
you
None of
and I
us are
both
sane. We're literally in hell right now. So fucking.
Well,
don't get out of the car,
remember
please.
pull out my own revolver.
for the lady at the diner?
Well, don't aim it there, Margaret.
No, that's just me. That is me, Sasha, resting my head.
All right,
Margaret is keeping it low.
It's bad. It's not that bad.
and I'm sorry. What were you saying about the lady at the diner?
Silas looked at everyone. The lady at the diner was talking about her sister that she thinks she was responsible for drowning. And that thing, when I saw it, I saw someone that I absolutely hated. And now this lady's talking about how she can't get her head off of someone that she either hated so much or just was so terrified of that she had to kill them. 3 times is more than a coincidence.
Okay, I hear you. I'm gonna say, don't do it. However, I feel like you're going to do it no matter what because you're an autonomous individual and we have no way of actually stopping you apart from brute force, and that's only going to antagonize you to us. So, if you do it and you turn into a monster, I will shoot you. Go with that understanding.
That's the best thing I could ask for. And Silas will slowly open the door. They'll like peek their head out, make sure nothing's like gonna do a drive-by and get them the minute they peek their head out.
As soon as you open the door fully,
If shit happens, we leave her.
and the fog sort of licks into the car a little bit. It doesn't actually fill the car, but just like little wisps of it. And that those wisps of fog seem to be carrying the sound of 100 different whimpering, crying voices. You hear
I
like a
close
distant,
the door.
distant mumbling, weeping, things along those lines. You step out of the car fully, Silas?
If
No.
nothing like immediately tries to grab them, they'll eyes are staying on this lady, but they'll step out and close the door behind them.
Silas, you're treating the symptoms, not the cause.
She's
How many murderers are in this town?
It doesn't matter. This town is not the focal point. It's everywhere.
It's
Yes,
small
but how
town
is everybody?
Wisconsin, more than you would think.
You're
Believe
trying
me,
to
I've defended half of them.
Oh my!
you're trying to stop an anthill one ant at a time.
with that, Silas. You get over to the woman, and she is still dutifully scraping her now bone-exposed knuckles over this washboard.
They'll gently reach over, and if she doesn't flinch or anything, they'll gently put their hands on her wrists.
She looks up at you and says, "He was so mean. He'd come home after work and just yell all the time. Every once in a while, even smack me around a little. I couldn't take it anymore."
Nobody should have to.
You didn't get divorced.
We're
Hey,
stuck.
stop!
You didn't get divorced when I was young.
You didn't have what we had now. So your choices were either to live with it or live with it and take the chance that it would kill you, or do the most human thing possible and fight for your own survival.
That's what priest told me up at St. Peter's in town. That's what the priest told me, but I can't get this blood off though. And she starts once again racking her knuckles on the washing board.
They'll try and like pull him up and look at him. It's because you're not going to.
I would like you to roll. Please, what conditions do you currently have?
We currently have our amnesia, shaken, and guilty.
I would like you to give me a wits and composure roll, please.
Because the dice have been so great to me today. Oh, okay. Well, I say ironically, but it becomes truth. That's 3 successes.
All right.
As a cat tries to attack my laptop.
You feel almost like an awareness hit you that this fog itself is amplifying and feeding on the guilt of this town. And you can feel it trying to get inside you and trying to infect you with that festering guilt. And you manage to, whether it be a sudden realization of not feeling guilty about the way you feel about your response to the pain, or maybe it's a sudden like, holy shit, what kind of monster have I been? I'll leave that to you narratively to decide what this inspires in you. But you are well aware that this illness that is carried in the fog or represented by the fog or exacerbated by the fog, it's their guilt. It's the guilt of everyone in this. Everyone it touches, their guilt is eating them.
It's anyone in the car, it's kind of like, you ever seen someone shiver so hard you actually saw it through their clothes, them just like almost writhe?
Silas,
It's that times 10.
Silas,
Oh, God.
you done right. Get in the car.
It's not going to go away. And they'll like actually grab their wrist and pull it up for her to see. No matter your reasons, what we do is permanent. We can't go back. We don't have a rewind button. Neither you nor me, be it things we wanted to do or actually did, we don't get a second chance to go back and do something different. And you know what? That's not fair, but it's just what it is. And we can either just beat the shit out of ourselves, say we're monsters, say we're fucking horrible, or we can say and acknowledge that we were horrible, or say we had our reasons and kill ourselves, or we can do something with what we got. All right, just because you made a mistake does not ruin what you have left. Just because there's one wrong line, just because you have one mismatch in color, just because you made one spill on the canvas that wasn't supposed to be there, that doesn't ruin the work. So why are you throwing away the rest of what you have just because of something you had to do?
You go ahead and give me a wits and empathy roll if you don't mind.
That minute when I actually have dots and empathy, not a lot. I get to be an emotional goth Dumbo. Aren't y'all proud of me?
Yeah. It's kind of overshadowed by the potential monster that's lurking just out of view because of all the fog. But,
I am a little
Get-
worried about the biblical angel. But
Get in the car. I will be a surrogate father figure and shower you with praise, but get in the car.
We're gonna do a willpower here because I feel like this is something that needs to succeed.
All right.
Oh. 2 10s. And we'll re-roll those real quick. Okay, yeah, so just 2 successes.
Excellent. You realize about halfway through your very impassioned, very persuasive, factual, and accurate speech that her eyes just completely glaze over. And her hands start twitching like she's just aching to get back to getting to scrubbing. You think that what your opinion, your assessment of this is that whatever is in this fog has got her and it's not going to let go.
Silas, let her go. It's too late for her. It's not too late for you. Come on, get in the car. Let's go.
They'll stand up, they'll look down at her, and then they're going to kick that washboard as far as they can and book it back to the car.
Excellent. She gets up and starts running toward the washboard. As soon as you open the car door and get your ass on the seat and go to pull it, you hear from the field, and then various screams from this woman, and sort of some meaty shredding kind of noises.
We should probably start going.
Do you close the door?
The door slams shut the minute.
Just go.
It's a horrified. Jesus.
Get in the car.
She's in the car. Go.
Get in the car.
Go. Start driving.
Ready to play. Ready to play. Ready to play.
Start driving. What are you doing? Fast.
All right, you gun it.
Yeah, 15 miles an hour, baby.
Go ahead and give me a wits and drive roll, please.
You got it.
15 miles an hour.
I'm going the speed of an amped up rascal.
I can't drive.
15.
Excellent. You managed to avert from running into another, what you assume based on the silhouette is a pig that runs across your you managed to swerve and miss it.
So as I'm swerving, who wants to bet that the bacon and pork chops was in fact people? Just lay down your money.
I'm not taking that bet. That's definitely a loss.
Easiest $20 I'd make. Come on, let's do this.
That's
No,
only
we're not.
part of it.
What?
Okay. We have gone to the facts where we are in, just as you said, the whole morality is now not just a subjective concept, but is now affecting reality, right? We've entered that.
It's a quantifiable thing, apparently.
Silas is like gesturing to the window. Guilt. Every single person. Think about it. The lady at the diner felt shitty about what happened with the sister, and the lady out there felt shitty about having to kill her husband. And when I was out there, it clicked. Maybe this is a symptom. Maybe this is a sign of it. Maybe it's feeding it. Maybe it's just something else that's enabling it. But this is every single little guilty, dirty thought and memory that everyone in this town has. I don't know what that does for us, but that's what it is.
No, that's good. That we can identify a thing. We can identify a thing. That means we can work to destroy it.
I think
But also,
what Christian said applies too. These symptoms and not the cause. What happened to her is very sad, but I don't see us fixing that. I can't see us fixing that. We can try and make it better for all of Lyndon Station, but I can't see us saving every lost damn soul here.
Look,
We can save ourselves,
look,
maybe.
Gabriel's horn, not specifically tied to Lyndon Station, happens all over the world. It's quantum fuckery. It's all over the place, right? Stands to reason that this is, I mean, we've heard this is the connection between string theory and morality, right?
yeah.
Quantum physics meets the judgment of purgatory, St. Peter's Gate, Toth scale, whatever you want, right? Fine. We can't undo that entire thing, and who knows how much bad is actually caught up in it. What's more, remember the lady back at the diner, the one who was falling apart? I can't remember her name. Kitty?
How was it?
She said she's been many people. Who you just talked to probably wasn't even the person who did the thing she's doing the time for.
That raises another point. If it's guilt and it's for morally bankrupt people, those aren't the kind of people to feel guilty.
This place is designed to make you feel guilt. Haven't any of you ever played Ravenloft?
No,
The hell is
I was more of a
Ravenloft?
homebrew world sort of guy.
Oh my God, I'm the only dork in the car.
No,
Homebrew my
I-
own world. What are you talking about?
No, before we split, me and my ex were getting into it.
What the hell is Ravenloft?
It's a tabletop RPG. Don't worry about it.
It's awesome
What?
for another day.
You know what?
What does that have to do with anything?
You know what, Margaret? If we can solve all this by the end of today, I have 3 more days before I need to fly back out. I will introduce you to it. As long as you choose to represent me for anything that I might get charged for that we're doing here.
Okay, sure. Kind of sure I'm going to get disbarred at this point, but sure.
We're going to be lucky if there is a bar after this.
Out of character, anybody in chat
Oh, yeah,
wants
if
to be like a lawyer in exchange for game. Like,
Now, we're not going to...
I'll build a retainer. I'm
right,
up.
there you go. You can,
Back in game.
real quick,
Back in game.
I would like you to make a dexterity and drive roll for me, please,
Oh, no.
for Christian.
Not as good as wits, but good enough. 1.
Excellent. You slam on the brakes just in time to miss a giant white stag that runs in front of you. You definitely can see that it's missing one of the points on its horns. And it runs in front of you, going from passenger side to driver's side deeper in. And as it runs in, you can see it break through the fog, and you can clearly sort of see the outline of the farmhouse for a moment before the fog closes behind it.
Y'all seen Princess Mononoke though, right?
Is
Turn
that
and
like the last
follow.
unicorn?
More than I thought. Follow the stag.
Excellent. You drive probably 100 feet or so, and you leave the fog as if driving like out of a wall, like it's just suddenly not foggy anymore. You're on a farm. There's a dilapidated farmhouse. Looks like it's probably late Victorian construction and probably hasn't had much upkeep since. There's a barn, a silo, rather sizable pig pen. And a fella sitting out on the porch in dirty overalls, a flannel, baseball hat. Looks like he's probably about 75 years old or so.
Bare feet, scattergun.
Doesn't have any weapons on him. Just sitting out there. Just got a bucket next to him. Sitting on the porch on a rocking chair. And I think that's where we will take our tech break real quick. And when we come back, Arlo will wake up. So if you're here watching us live, just hang out for a few. We'll be back momentarily. If you're watching this on VOD, just hit fast forward and you'll never know we were gone. So bear with us just a moment.
See you in like 5.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
And
On the sea.
now that we have got both of our audio things actually where they're supposed to be and everybody's face where they're supposed to be, we have returned. So you were just pulling up to this house. Arlo, you sit up and throw up a few shards of broken glass, which would be a lot more alarming to you if you weren't already sort of leaking glass out of various places. But you have heard sort of the vagary of the discussion that's been going on, and now see that you are in fact on this man's farmhouse property. You're on his lawn, basically. And he stands up and sort of picks up the bucket and comes walking out toward your car.
Window down, gun on lap. Howdy.
You more them things.
Do I look like one of those things?
Kinda. They can wear people's faces.
Yeah, aren't the faces usually falling off?
Sometimes, I suppose. You doing on my property?
We're looking for volts.
That would be me. He spits out some chaw.
To the side or onto me?
Like to the side.
Responses will change.
Well, if you ain't one of them critters that's been running around, what are you doing here out in this fog?
Actually, we were told to come find you.
We're trying to fix it as best we can, at least.
Well, best of luck to you. Don't know what that's got to do with me. But I do know the pigs got to eat.
And what do they eat?
Anything I feed to them.
Okay, I'm just going to get out of the car if you'll just step back for a second. Start to open the door.
He steps back.
I am keeping the gun low. Everybody else can see it. Hopefully he can't. And I'm going to sort of gesture, also get out.
Yeah, I'm falling out. I'm opening my door and
I would like each of you to roll wits and empathy as you get out of the car and look at John.
Solid call. I'm so glad I went high on wits.
I actually have dice to roll.
That's not bad.
Two successes.
That's not bad.
One here.
Excellent.
Actually, I have
Two
to
from-
check that. Change.
What was that, Jim, sir?
I have to double check something because of one of my scars. I don't know if it affects me interpreting other people's emotions.
Got you.
But yeah, go ahead.
If you got one success or more, you absolutely cannot find anything human in this person's eyes. There's nothing strikes you as supernatural about them. Just whatever spark of anima, whatever thing that we recognize in one another as being humanity is just gone. It's just not there.
I'm going to take a deep and easy breath and see what I get off this guy. So that's if you're okay with that.
Psychic vampirism? Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let me just flip to that page. Everything got discombobulated. Intelligence, occult, psychic vampirism minus their resolve.
All right, so you'll be minus 3. Yeah, -3.
Okay. And I'll throw a willpower at this too.
All right.
Sort of offset his resolve. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And can I use my inspiration about getting to the bottom of what's happening here?
Yes, and that will give you
Willpower back.
Let's see. Just checking the conditions.
You get a willpower back. You get a beat for resolving, and you can get an exceptional success on 3 instead of 5.
Yep. Okay.
That'll be an exceptional success.
Beautiful.
With 1 to spare.
You and so correct me if I'm wrong, but with the psychic vampirism, you're effectively pulling some willpower from this person, right?
I am.
And in that process, you're getting
yes.
kind of a flavor of what that is attached to. Is that, you might understand that?
Well, I have level 2 psychic vampirism, so I can take willpower instead of causing bashing damage. I have breath stealer, so I've got range. And I have soul eater, so that I can also drain ghosts and spirits, and well, theoretically, I can drain anything else automatically. If I get some kind of flavor off that, that's up to you.
Okay. Well, it's an exceptional success, so I will say you can regain the willpower. Your willpower is full.
Cool.
Up to 3, I think I don't know if you spent that much, so you regain 3 willpower, right? You had 3 successes.
It's perfect. It's exactly what I need.
And you get the distinct impression. First of all, you become innately aware of the connection and the nature of the connection. You understand now that you are drawing. You understand what they were talking about earlier about why you're different. That you are drawing from the souls of others. That sort of hits you. And as it hits you, you realize that this soul, this person, and I use that term loosely, there's something missing in them. It's not so much like their soul has been broken or their mind has been shattered. There's just a piece that simply isn't there. As if they were born with their remorse organ missing.
So one of my deviations is otherworldly connections for Gabriel's horn.
Okay.
Is he triggering that? Because it is just kind of a perpetual thing.
Yeah, so what you would notice in that is that his very presence is caustic to you. It's almost like if you can imagine when you look at him, the tattered remnants of your soul, sort of Colonel Panic. Like you feel an overwhelming sense of anxiety and confusion when he is within your eyesight. Like that is something that shouldn't be.
Everyone else would just kind of hear a resounding, oh.
I glance over at Arlo.
And
Little tiny nod.
So what brings you out here? I'd assume you didn't come out for a pound of bacon.
Bacon. Does it come from the pigs?
Hell else is it going to come from?
Fine question.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. No, do I look like Jeffrey Dahmer to you?
Jeffrey Dahmer didn't look like Jeffrey Dahmer till we knew what Jeffrey Dahmer was.
Suppose that's fair.
Jeffrey Dahmer also didn't feed people to pigs.
Hi.
Also fair.
Just gonna throw this out there. We're getting off at kind of a strong start. Let's start with some introductions. Hi, I'm Margaret.
Yeah, you're the attorney lady. You help me out.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember that.
I had some traffic tickets. I appreciated your work.
Yeah. I remember now. Sorry, I didn't know how that didn't click until now. But it's been a day. This is Silas, and this is my friend Jacob. We have Arlo and Christian.
Don't you mean Jason?
God damn it.
Much obliged. What can I do for y'all?
One of us is the thing, Jerry. Well, rumor has it you have something to do with what's been going on. Fog and all that.
I suppose you might say that, maybe? You sure you don't want
You're
to
the
come
one
and
who escaped.
escape? Not sure I understand what you mean. But based on whatever the hell's going on over there, he points at your face. I assume I can talk somewhat freely. You must have some clue as to, maybe you know better than I do. I woke up on Sunday, planning on having a nice, relaxing day, feeding the rest of the hooker I picked up to the pigs, and watching some football. And this fog rolled in. And all these people going all the way back to my pappy, people who weren't nothing but ambulatory food, started showing up around the farm. So I did what I had to do.
Christian has a slowly more and more unsettled internal look before.
Margaret, real quick.
For real, if you go ahead and do what you're going to do, but odds are if somebody doesn't say something, I'm going to unload my clip into him.
I am going to just kind of hold up a finger and tap on my phone real quick and pull up Jennifer Stone's photo and show it to him. Does she look familiar to you?
I mean, sure. Pretty girl.
Have you seen her lately?
Probably. It's hard to keep track.
Christian, you were about to do something?
Oh, I don't hear anybody. Bang, 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 bang.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
Initiative or attack?
Just roll your attack.
Okay. It's utter crap, but I'm definitely throwing a willpower into it for this.
Sure.
And I know I'm making an integrity roll. Well, maybe I'm not. This guy might be so divorced from humanity it doesn't even register as bad. Okay. That's 4 dice. That's one hit.
All right. You shoot him in the shoulder. What's the damage on the gun?
I wrote this down. Damage is 1.
All right. You shoot him in the shoulder, and he sort of reacts to it, and then looks down at it and looks back up at you. Now we can roll initiative. That's fine. Roll a d10, add it to your initiative, please.
I wasn't even looking at him when I shot. Like when he looks back at me, I look up at him. Cold fury. 7 here.
14.
That is 7 plus. Sorry, I'm only working on one screen right now. It's weird.
You're
13
fine.
for me.
So it's 13 for Arlo and 14 for Jason. Is that correct?
Yep.
And how about for Silas?
So Silas has a 15, but I went to go check the stuff for a fire axe in the book, and it's saying it has a -4 to initiative, so that
11?
bumps it. Yeah, it bumps down to 11.
All right. And then what did Margaret get?
That would be a big 6. I rolled a 1.
Excellent. John is going on a 14. So, Jason, I'm going to give it to you first because you're a player character. And I'm nothing if not a benevolent being. So what would you like to do?
All right. Well, we've just shot him. Obviously, we've chosen death for him, so I would have been in the passenger seat, so assuming he was on the driver's side of the car, I'm going to have to move around because I don't want to shoot my friends.
Okay.
And then shoot him.
Didn't we also give you a shotgun?
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's got a street howitzer, so yeah, it's gonna be messy.
Yeah.
Street howitzer, that's a first. I'm used to street sweepers.
Street howitzer, tombstone.
Yeah, there'll be a
Thompson
lot.
typewriter.
There'll be a lot less jumpy with Doc on the street howitzer.
That's the one.
I can quote that movie from credits to credits. How many sets did it?
2.
It takes so long for us to become such good friends, Travis.
It's the finest piece of cinema ever. What's
up there, Dan.
what's the damage on that lovely piece of firearms that you're?
Got a +3.
Excellent. You shoot him directly in his back. As you do, you blow a significant chunk of his lower torso out his front. He's still up, but he's definitely stumbly. As he stumbles forward, he is going to try to land on Christian.
No.
So he's going to attempt to grapple you.
I'm having minor flashbacks from zombie asshole.
He's going to try to grab you. What is your
I have
defense?
a feeling I know who Pappy is.
Defense is 2.
Right. Okay. That is 1 success. He grabs a hold of you, and rather than do anything damaging or harming to you, he just looks you in the eyes and says, "You really think this is going to make a lick of difference, don't you?"
I'll feel better.
That brings us to Arlo. What would you like to do?
As Arlo has some experience fighting shit that's come out of the horn, a little bit, just a mite more than everyone else does so far. They're just gonna kind of, I guess, try and help pull the Volt off of Christian.
Okay.
I don't really have a lot in that particular dice pool, but
I mean, you're looking basically at a strength and brawl. You're going to be his defense is 4, so you're -4.
I'm gonna have. Well, no, I only have 1 willpower left. I can't spend a willpower on that, so that would boil down just to a chance die.
Let's see how it goes.
Fingers crossed. That is surprisingly a success.
Excellent. You grab a hold of him and you're just trying to pull him loose.
I'm just trying to pull him off of Christian.
Oh, you do so. There's a sort of a burst of blood from the shotgun wound when you apply pressure to his upper shoulders, like it squeezed out some blood and probably undigested pork.
Yeah, and while Arlo's doing this, it's just going to be like, Have you guys not fucking learned? Shooting them doesn't kill them.
And after that,
It'll
Chess,
disable them.
after that,
know what else to do. This is all I got.
that brings us to Silas, who is not notably carrying a gun. What would you like to do, Silas?
So we are at a bit of a problem because Silas has the fire axe ready to go, but now Arlo is holding them.
Swing.
Ask him a question.
Do it.
Yeah, just do your best Lizzie Borden impression.
Well, they've tried, so it's a bit of a crapshoot on that one.
And I mean, their defense. I'm going to rule their defense is going to be -1 because they're being held.
All right. So strength. Yeah, they're gonna.
So you'll be
Take one.
-3 dice to your pool.
So that leaves us with 1, but it's not a chance die. Like Silas just looks, and they look like not horrified, like disgusted. And Dash just comes up. You and that fucking maniac. All right. If you're not gonna feel guilty, I'll at least make you fucking hurt. And they're gonna swing it right for like his chest and his guts. If he's going to like be this kind of like, oh, I feel no remorse, he's gonna feel fucking pain before he dies at least.
It's fair. It's a fair trade. I'll allow it.
I
Go
don't
ahead
even
and
think they feel pain.
give that a roll. Let's see how it goes.
Listen, the idea that they can feel pain will make Silas feel better.
There's a difference between pain and caring about it.
There is a success.
Excellent. And the damage rating on the axe is a 3.
Yeah, a fire axe has a 3 damage rating.
So you bring the axe down, and it goes more into the throat clavicle area. You hear like a crunch as their left shoulder separates from kind of the rest of their torso, and blood pools at the edges of the wound. But you've not pulled the axe out yet; it's stuck there. And he just sort of looks over at you and chuckles, leaving us with Christian. What would you like to do?
Indulge my darkest impulse and take everything I can. I've got his arms are on mine. That's all I need. So yeah, I'll throw a willpower on there. That brings me to 6 dice. That's what I'm looking for, boyos. All right, that's 2 10s, re-rolling. That's another 10. And that's an 8. That's 4.
Excellent.
That'll do bashing damage to him. And I get 1 ephemera for every 2 points of bashing damage.
Excellent. He drops to his knees. Well, drops as far as he can with the axe still kind of supporting his weight, I guess, and with Arlo still holding. And that brings us to Margaret. What would you like to do?
I think Margaret had the gun raised and ready to rock, but like at the last second, Arlo shouted out, guns basically don't work. And now there's a bunch of people swarming this person. So suddenly doesn't seem like a good idea anymore. So instead, she's going to take a step back, kind of swing the gun around in the opposite direction and just keep her eyes peeled out to see if that fucking pig comes out and rushing out of the fog again.
Excellent. You're on Overwatch for pigs. I will let you know if that
Pig
becomes a problem.
Overwatch.
Sentences you didn't plan to say today.
Jason, what would you like to do at the start of the next turn?
Is the pig's name Roadhog? Sorry.
No, but it is voiced by Keith David.
Nice. So yeah, it's start of the turn. Initiative goes to Jason. Jason, this thing seems to be, this man seems to be on the verge of death, if not dead, and just doesn't know it yet. So what would you like to do? Will, anything?
Are you muted or something? We're not getting anything from you.
There you go. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
I'm not. Everybody's on him. I got a shotgun. It's not viable. I'm probably gonna also go on Overwatch because if I shoot him, I'm probably gonna shoot somebody else.
That's not an invalid concern. So you spin around and go on to Overwatch as well.
Yeah, that's my best. That's my best option here.
Double
'cause-
pig Overwatch.
Well, there was also that
Hey,
stat
that's getting
that was
XCOM
here,
vibes.
and may or may not have been that just another one of those weird angel things, which is what I'm more concerned about.
There was also the shape from last episode that we never really confirmed whether or not it was actually dead.
The biblically accurate angel took care of that.
Yeah, you were passed out for the biblically accurate angel. We'll fill you in.
It probably turned the shape into a car, and it's on its way right now.
Hey, you ever seen those videos of like
It would've
putting a
done a
strawberry in like a thing of maggots, watching them swarm over? It did that to it.
The
No,
God machine.
I love
Guyver.
the idea that
If
the
we put
God
it on a
machine
car-
doesn't provide his servants the means of transportation, so they have to make their own fucking.
No,
Um,
they just
canonically
do shit
speaking-
from Dogma with tearing a hole open in reality with a hockey stick and hopping
Right.
through. There you go.
Canonically speaking, the God Machine often does not provide transportation for its agents. Just saying. But
That's why I provide my own.
having
Throw that in my game from now on.
but yeah, having said that, as the light goes out, well, light isn't even the right phrase. As the last bit of life leaves his eyes, he looks Christian dead in the eyes and say, "I want you to know something. This didn't make a lick of difference," and he dies.
I drop him to the ground and say, I feel better.
The fog recedes from the farm by about a mile, rapidly, and then stops, slams into place like the receding just completely stops. You can hear the pigs sort of squawking and squeaking in the pig pen, and that's kind of the only noise you're hearing.
I guess it wants the pigs too.
It went back by about a mile. We did something to it at least.
You got a very good judge of distance, because I could not have told you that was a mile.
I'm just guessing.
Do I have any kind of instinct to feed them to the pigs?
No, not at all.
I didn't think I would, but I wanted to be very sure this wasn't you are what you eat kind of situation.
No, and in fact,
That's my coin.
you realize as you're sort of mulling over kind of what was in that package that you just consumed, you realize it was his motivation was just this is what you do. You're not sure how he became so broken. Maybe he was born that way. But his reasoning for what he did was because it was what needed doing. It didn't have any moral connotation whatsoever to him. It was as morally neutral as putting a coin in a vending machine or washing your hands or, taking a dump as far as he was concerned. It had the same level of moral impact. Pigs had to eat. People had to die for that to happen. It was all just completely cold transaction. I'll let you make a occult roll with your, intelligence probably. Let's see to see if you can square that with what you know about Gabriel's horn.
2.
Okay. It's not an unreasonable theory to think that if the horn is a place where mathematics and morality meet, this person was effectively the equivalent of trying to divide by 0.
If he couldn't feel guilt, then morality couldn't enter into the situation.
Right.
The psychologist who studied the Nazis at Nuremberg said that evil is the absence of empathy. This guy would have been, by that definition, pure evil.
Right. That's fair. It's a fair takeaway. Whether you share that insight with the class is up to you, but
Well, he was a glitch for this place.
But it's still here.
Apparently,
Why are you
Fix-
making a reference to a computer problem?
Because if it's all quantum physics, then it's all math.
Math is complicated.
Computers are just math.
It's fucked, and so is this situation. Did we fix the problem?
At
It
this point, I'm
seems-
fairly certain, based on what was being said, that we didn't. And also, he's probably going to
Come
respawn.
back.
Since we're doing computer stuff, probably going to respawn.
it did recede the fog, though, is the thing.
Well,
It makes me think maybe there might be someone similar waiting for us at the church.
the church is the next logical step. But I should point out, Gabriel's horn existed before this guy. There's no reason that it would cease to exist because of him.
Not cease to exist, but this is all a malfunction.
Like you said, it's a glitch. We fixed the glitch.
And that doesn't mean it's supposed to go away.
those
Maybe
of you
they
who
just-
are on Overwatch see it first. A motorcycle emerge from the fog.
Hey, we got someone.
Motorcycle is I guess a generous term. It's kind of a moped.
Gun goes away.
But you
Now I'm just picturing Ghost Rider, but with a moped.
Yes,
instead of
So less Ghost Rider, more fully coolly. Got you.
Yeah.
but
yeah.
the thing that strikes you as this moped gets closer is that the engine doesn't appear to be made out of anything mechanical. It looks like it's the stripped torso of a humanoid, probably roughly the shape, the size of the shape, that has then had wires run through it to the wheels of like a Schwinn.
Turned him into a car. I fucking called it.
Turned him into a moped. Couldn't even be made into a car.
Turned him into a quarter of a car.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, you know, if
arguing
Indians
more
are
than-
So
Italian.
we should be giving an R car now, yes?
Hold up.
Um,
If
the fog's not gone and we need to go to the church,
Yes, but this thing is showing up and it's clearly following us like the shape was. Want to go 3 for 3 for killing random things today?
Nothing random here. I get in the car.
It shouts, "Be not afraid!" as it's riding up toward you.
Ignore me.
It occurs to me that's what like angels are supposed to say, right?
I can. That's fair enough. You can make that connection. Yes.
At this point.
I've started the engine. I'm leaning out of the window. Anything that says "be not afraid," be very afraid. Get in the car.
I don't know, man. Like,
am I getting the same bad vibe that I was getting from Volt from the?
No, not at
the
all.
angel?
Not at all. In fact, you feel
Turkey dinners and home, buddy.
Give me a give me a wits composure roll if you don't mind.
It's composure.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually think I have a pretty decent score in that. Yeah. Any negatives or?
No, just a straight wits composure.
That is 2 successes.
You feel a sense of awe in a like literal biblical meaning of the word awe. Like it clicks to you that this is whatever has happened to you, you get the sense that you are a cog in a machine and that this is a governor of that machine.
So the word is rapture.
Less rapture and more enraptured.
It's fair.
Because the rapture is completely different.
The rapture and rapture are two different things. Yes.
There's lots of meanings of the same word.
Etymology aside, get in the car, Arlo.
Why? It doesn't seek to harm us.
Arlo,
Like,
I'm sorry.
It's riding a meat moped. We need to go.
I mean, the first person we met was also had her face stapled over her face.
Arlo.
Incorrect. The first person I met tried to eat me.
Okay,
Arlo.
the first person he met tried to eat him.
And then another
Arlo.
one broke into the trailer, but that was like...
Jason, get in the car.
Listen, at this point, we've been equating this to hell. That thing saying be not afraid, and biblically accurate angels are supposed to be terrifying. Also, he's out here with me.
I pull my gun out, fire it in the air. Get in the car!
Now I'm
You're the one that's a hole in the
mist.
mist. Why are you afraid?
I'm afraid for you.
Now I'm less inclined to get in the car because you're acting like a madman.
You're staying up to me, Poopit.
Whilst you're arguing about this,
Can Arlo just walk up and reach in through the driver window and turn off the car? Just right in front of Christian.
I mean, sure. So you reach in and you hit the ignition, and as soon as you do, the moped pulls up, and she gets off and says, "Be not afraid," and walks over toward you. Why?
I'd like to think I was sitting in the passenger seat and I was about to buckle and just slowly bring it back, let it go.
I told you, they mean us no harm. They don't give off the same...
She says, "Margaret, we must speak."
Are you sure you get the right one?
Yes, you.
You recognize the flesh I wear.
Vaguely, I knew that girl in college.
You did,
But
and you put her into my database.
don't really know what to say to that. Sorry?
You deserve the horn. It waited for you.
Don't know about that one. I can't. There's nothing. Yeah, sure. I defended a few assholes in my time. Apparently, I defended a serial killer and didn't notice it. But
Your sins have nothing to do with your time as a solicitor. Solicitors are functions. They are performed. You know what you carry.
I'm telling you, I don't. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think you just said lawyers aren't evil.
Then look upon me and behold. And her face opens up. And as her face opens up and you see 100 eyes moving up and down the inside of her face, light envelops the entire area. And you are all standing at a party in a sorority house. As near as you can tell, like you it becomes very clear to you that this is not, you're not here, when one of the partygoers walks directly through Christian.
Okey-dokey.
Am I here or am I
You are. You see.
in the past?
No, you're watching this.
Gotcha.
You see yourself and Cass, a couple of your other sorority sisters, gathered around in the kitchen next to a keg.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, I remember this party.
and Cass is like, let it go. And you're like, no, fuck that. I'm not letting anything go. Like, you know, she tried to make me look like an asshole in front of the professor. She needs to learn her place. She's new here. And they're all like, yeah, okay, valid, right? So what do we do about it?
I never said that. I say, sounding increasingly less sure about it.
You pull out a pouch from your pocket. You say, I got this from Terry. It's just going to freak her out. She'll probably puke, embarrass herself. It's not a big deal. Cass is like, Jesus Christ, Terry? Isn't that the kid that was like selling speed to like 15-year-olds at a rave last week? You're like, listen, I just got to build up my client base. And, he's fun for a roll in the hay once in a while. The rest of your sorority sisters kind of chuckle. Cass says, okay, so what is it? You say, it's just a little hallucinogen, just enough to knock her down a peg or two. Cass says, fine. And takes it out of your hand and pours it into a solo cup and fills the solo cup with beer. As she steps out into the floor of the party and you and the sorority sisters follow her, the song changes over to Sympathy for the Devil by Guns N' Roses from the Interview with the Vampire soundtrack.
My eyes are laser focused on my past self and especially Cindy, and they're about the size of pinpricks right now.
Cindy gives her the drink and says, look, we're sorry about giving you shit earlier. We understand that you're new, you feel like you got something to prove, and you want to be teacher's pet. So no hard feelings, okay? And she says, yeah, whatever. It's all fine. I expected a little bit of Mean Girls when I joined the sorority, and she just slams the beer down in one shot. As it gets through the
I've
first...
been to enough Burning Mans to know what that means.
As it gets through the first chorus, she starts to convulse. She drops to the floor. Your sorority sisters grab her and start bringing her outside. As soon as they break through the door, you're transported to the outside. Music playing. You're outside in Madison. Second floor, on a balcony. She starts throwing up.
I have scrambled onto the floor, scuttled backwards against anything if there's a wall. If not, I'm just going to keep scuttling, and I'm just kind of frozen there in fear, watching what's happening.
You feel a hand on your shoulder. And you look up, it's the angel. Remember. Do you remember now? Your surroundings fade to black, and once again, you are inside of your dorm room. And all of you have come along for this journey.
We see the Ramones poster.
You see the Ramones poster.
Legendary.
You see young Margaret sitting on the bed, kind of rocking back and forth, crying, chewing her nails. There's a knock at the door. Cass walks in. Says, look, I pulled every string I've got. You're not going to get expelled, okay? You are going to get kicked out of the sorority. And unfortunately, I don't have enough influence to do anything about the firm. I know that you had your heart set on that job, but look, just be fucking thankful you're going to graduate. And that you're not disbarred. I know it was an accident, okay? Try not to beat yourself up too much. She turns on her heel and walks out. Oh, and one more thing. She sets down a box of your shit. This was the last of what you left at the sorority house.
What I
It's just-
reach out for either her or my past self. Either way, I'm trying to reach to.
She passes
Touch
right through
to
you
her.
as you try to reach out and touch her, and turns to fog, as does everything around you. And then the fog dissipates, and you're back where you were sitting before.
I'm crying. I'm Tears are streaking down my face, ruining my mascara and my makeup.
You may resolve your amnesiac condition. You may take a beat. The angel says, the horn takes what's due, but there was a malfunction, and now it is taking from everyone.
I'm the glitch.
You're a means of closing this hole.
I look to everyone still crying, just trying to. I'm barely here right now mentally. Like my brain is trying to dissociate, but I'm not. And I'm just here and
Then the horn will keep opening until someone who is fit passes through it. It will continue to spread, it will continue to open, it will continue to consume, and it will continue to pollute the God Machine's world. Perhaps as it opens, enough souls will fall into it that belong there that we can plug the hole. Perhaps. But in our infinite wisdom, we created you with free will. I recommend you use it. And she falls into a pile of meat and wiring.
This is a flawed system.
It is very flawed, especially as she did not mean any actual harm. It was simply a prank. But, I mean, the only thing that maybe you could have done intentionally was give that big of a dosage. Other than that,
no.
I mean, you are the one who purchased that amount, but
I didn't
I
know.
myself have done.
I told him to give him the smallest he could to like.
Did she die?
Did she die, Travis?
She didn't die. You remember now specifically that, no, she in fact lived. She's currently in a Mile Bluff residential home in the town of Mauston, about 10 miles over where the county seat is, because she's effectively a vegetable at this point. It robbed her of most of her motor control. She periodically, last time you heard, she periodically will sort of talk in vague, nonsensical terms that no one can really sort of suss out what she means. But she's pretty much a vegetable.
Oh, she's still alive, but not the kind of alive.
Counts.
I don't know if she's
Well-
ever leaving a bed again.
Then I see it as we have a potential option.
Find the drug dealer who sold Bad Batch.
I'm not sure
That's
the forum will
impossible.
let us leave.
He was in Madison. If he's still there anymore.
Small-time drug dealers tend to get picked up very.
Oh, it was me. It was my choice. Shitty as it was, stupid as it was, I did this.
You didn't do this. You did something stupid. You did something mean-spirited. You had malice, but you didn't intend all this.
You were already punished for it. This is overkill.
No, she wasn't punished for it.
And she lost things.
I-
She might not believe she was punished or not.
I
In which case,
lost-
turn yourself in.
A job. I lost my future. I thought For so long, I thought Cass fucked me. I thought she did something to screw me over, but no. I screwed me over.
No, here's the problem.
And then I didn't even have the decency to remember what I did.
That's not something you can chalk up to lack of decency. Don't do that.
No, here's what I don't understand. If this is all a process, a code, a program, a function, what's the point? People are sucked into this place to suffer eternally and play proxy to guilt to other people. But what energy comes of it? What function comes of it? A person isn't mended, repaired, and restored to the system. With this, it just grows.
Maybe that is the point. This is the recycling bin of the universe.
But recycling comes back out.
But not for computers.
Kitty said that some people can get out of it.
Did she? She said that this was the first one, and that's the reason the horn is here. Versus certain people can't go into it.
To clarify, she did absolutely say to you all, for clarification, in case the players just don't remember, she did absolutely say to you that people can go through the process and become redeemed. She absolutely did say that.
That's on me then. Which case, yeah, it could be the recycling bin. The last chance before you're deleted. For this machine that apparently is God. Since everything is mapping out.
I always thought God was a bitch, not a calculator.
Find the
Calculators
difference.
don't have a sex. Well,
Redemption.
So what does redemption look like? You do your time in the horn and then you move on to what?
I don't think anyone's really moved on from the horn. I think it's just a self-perpetuating cycle. You stay here, you do your penance by playing a monster, and then you do that forever and ever and ever and ever to every damn lost soul that's ever been here.
So we're not doing that.
And we're not out of options either.
Not by any.
the priestess from the church, she seems to have some knowledge and have some power, sway. I'm not entirely sure how to word it.
Can we see the church with the receded fog?
No, you cannot see the church from where you are, but the church is it's basically in the center of town. So it's more a distance issue than a fog issue. I mean, the fog would prevent you as well, but you just literally can't see that far.
Margaret, you don't have to make a decision right now. There's still gaps in our knowledge. So can we all
I won't
get
put
in
the
the
two
corner?
decisions that I see on the table.
I'll get back in the car. Well, we're not solving anything staying at a murderous pig farm, so maybe we should, I don't know.
Get to the
Let's
church.
get to the church.
At the very least, can we stop at, like, I don't know, Jason's place and get some alcohol, because I could really use some right now.
I reach into my bag. I do have pie.
There would still be whatever's left of the bottle of alcohol that Arlo had grabbed at the diner. That never left.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's nothing left of that bottle. At
Yeah,
that point.
the bottle is still here. The contents have long been.
I
Everyone's
stare at it as if
breaking
it's a fallen friend.
Nice.
While this is
not all of us made it out of the horn.
here's to
Out
Captain Morgan, who is no longer with us.
Nice.
Fare thee well, wild turkey.
So you
Out
all,
of mild curiosity, am I able to navigate the fog better because of my otherworldly connection?
so here's the thing. Here's let me pull the curtain back slightly. You and Christian can walk around in the fog with relative impunity, because the things in it
Or if
can't see you. You can't see very well, but you can. If either one of you goes wandering into the fog, you're probably just going to be fine and wandering around blindly in the fog, because you're supernatural, so you're invisible to the horn, pretty much.
Worked ourselves out of some drama there, buddy.
But you don't have any like special ability to navigate it.
Oh, I was just mildly curious because if I did, I'd just be like, no, I'm driving.
No,
I drive better than him anyway.
You do.
Neither one of you can really navigate it especially well unless you have a supernatural power that would somehow give you, like if you had aspects and
to.
stuff, you can do it with like penalties. But yeah,
No.
All right.
Silas is going to the meat pile.
Oh God.
The angel meat pile.
Yep.
Oh
Excellent.
god.
Might as well look at the at the meat moped too.
Listen. We have ashes in our pocket. Let's add something else to it.
Are you,
Oh god.
you gonna carry some angelic ichor with you?
Well, they're gonna search through it and see if there's anything in there interesting before they pick the ichor up.
It's all interesting, but what could go wrong?
You find
Everything.
You find
You have-
what looks like a old school pocket watch that doesn't have a case. So it's just like the gears and the hands and the time amounts, but they're in the face, but there's nothing externally holding it together.
And is it ticking?
It is ticking.
Margaret, come here.
Got it.
I'll hold it next to Margaret and see if it does anything different.
It doesn't.
Oh God, they put us on a timer too.
Shit.
It's a tad extra suspense.
It's worth the try.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
pocket that and
Is it counting forward or back?
It does seem
That's
to be
good.
moving normally, and it looks like
Is it in a language we understand?
it looks like it's keeping time as you would expect a watch to keep time.
Okay.
Vince, Ara, Clortho. I don't know what that means.
okay, well,
Plato Verado Dicto.
just gonna put that away and Silas will turn. I don't even know fully why I want to do this. I just feel like this is something right to do. None of you have any room to judge me, and they're gonna like reach down and grab a handful of this ichor.
All right, you do. It squishes in your hand, much like handling like raw sausage.
Don't think about it. Just put in a ball. Imagine you're making a meatball, and then they're gonna like form it as much to a ball as possible, and then just try and put it away where it's not gonna make too much of a mess.
Excellent. You create this ball of flesh and pop it in your pocket.
Everyone loves angel meatballs.
New
And,
sentences you didn't plan to say today.
and you all hop in the car. As you're making your way back into town, you get about half mile or so into the fog, and you start to hear the church bells. And as you hear them, the fog starts to dissipate. They are once again playing Sympathy for the Devil.
God is teasing us.
Teasing or condemning?
I choose to believe teasing because whatever the God machine is, it's clearly petty.
You are able to follow the sound of the church bells pretty easily. And by the time you get into town, the fog has receded. But you also notice that the town is empty. Nobody's
More
out.
empty than normal.
Nobody's outside. Nobody's moving around. The only place that has any signs of life are the church, where you can hear as you pull up the sound of a passionate sermon being delivered.
God, bring people together when they're literally transported to hell. Not sure if it's admirable or not.
My brain just thought of the church scene from Kingsman.
Roll initiative.
I also kind of like look as they're going, not to invite anything to us, but why do I get the feeling that when we walk in that church, we're not just going to run into your average Sunday mass?
Is there
Because
anything
it's not
average?
Sunday.
Yeah, because we're in literal hell. figuring
Also,
it
is
out.
there a digital clock nearby?
There's one on the dashboard. And what were you asking about the church, Kevin?
I wasn't asking anything.
Oh, there's a digital clock on the dashboard. Why?
Has the time changed on this digital clock, or is it still the exact time that the mist or the fog?
No, time is moved normally. As far as you can
Okay.
tell,
Does the pocket watch correspond to it?
yeah, they're
Everything's still in sync. Time's
Yeah.
not out of jank.
the pocket watch is about 2 minutes faster than the clock on the car, which you immediately assume was probably the car's problem.
Yeah,
Probably.
we'll chalk that up to relativity and all that wonderfulness. Because relativity still probably works here. That's good. That we have one law that we can one thing still makes sense. Watches will need to be.
Oh, nothing
reset.
makes sense. Nothing makes sense, and everything makes more sense
Gravity's remained consistent
That's all.
Oxygen-
for now.
for now.
We can't necessarily say oxygen has remained consistent, because as far as we know, we're just reflexively breathing at this point. Hold your breath.
Damn it, now I'm thinking about it. Well, I'm not exploded, so we're fine.
Are you parked in front of the church at this point, or are you circling around?
Arlo's driving.
Yeah, we're parked in front of the church, and I don't want to go inside. Arlo's not a church person, but
Well, Christian has to. She didn't like Christian, so you can stay outside.
no, she didn't like me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I
You can
wasn't
stay
there.
outside.
Margaret and I
Wait.
were.
You can
Margaret.
stay outside.
Margaret.
I will stay outside and keep the car running and kill anything that approaches it.
Thank you,
Margaret's
class
been
man.
just sitting there
He
silently.
blinks with the creepy eyelids.
For real. Margaret's just been sitting there silently, like almost like she's still not really all there. She's still living in her head, just kind of silently. So when everyone just starts talking about who's going in, she just slowly pops her door open, unbuckles, and gets out and starts walking to the front door of the church.
I help her out and walk with her.
As soon as you get on the stairway, the doors open, and you see a man. I use that term vaguely. He's about 9 feet tall. He has no facial features. It's just sort of a wad of flesh over his face.
Is he wearing a dark mortician suit, like tentacles behind him?
No, he is wearing a apron, like a chef's apron, and just covered in blood. He's got on like a shirt that is just brown with filth, and wearing sort of somewhat baggy khakis. He's got on some construction boots, and he's holding a meat cleaver that is about the size of an average human torso. Also just dripping with blood. And he says,
Missing a pyramid helmet.
He left it in his other pants.
Real.
No, this one he's just got a big fucking box.
Box head.
Spearhead.
And he says, "Welcome, sister. The sermon is in process."
Real quick, what kind of, do I know this church? What kind of denomination is
As
it?
far as you know, this is a Episcopalian church that
Okay.
is somewhat sparsely attended. There are more churches in this county than there are any other single type of building.
Of course.
So,
It's either churches or
Episcopalian.
bars.
Right.
Prairie Home Companion Church.
It just I just making sure it's not Catholic, so I don't, because Margaret was gonna ask to make a confessional, but that's not
and it's
not here.
Not here.
So
Um,
she just nods and starts to walk past him.
as soon as you step inside the church, are Silas and Jason following, or are Silas and Jason staying out in the car with Arlo?
I'm not gonna let them go in alone, because reasonably that's the more dangerous place. And Arlo has magic powers now, and I'm not sure what's going on there. So yeah, I'm gonna go.
And so far, no one has asked.
As soon as the interior doors are opened, you hear a lot of weeping, some pained moans, and the nun is standing at the front of the church, and she's saying, "Remember, the teachings are that if your eye should offend you, pluck it out. It is your own failings, your moral failures that have brought you here." And as you look around, you see the townsfolk of Lyndon Station. Some of them are just weeping, maybe looking at a picture on their phone, or a couple are just weeping sort of in their pews alone. You see another one who has taken their keys, looks like, and are just grinding them into their own genitalia. You see one person who is literally pulling their own eyeballs out of their skull. You see a person who is holding their hand on over the pew in front of them, and they have like the hymnal, and they're just bashing the hymnal onto their wrist, as you can hear, whether it's the bone or the pew, you're not quite sure, but something's cracking every time it hits. Most of the town is either in tears or actively self-mutilating as you step in.
Are there any open pews?
Yeah, several. Town ain't that big.
Margaret's gonna
Church is bigger than the town.
find a pew in the back and sit right down. Fold
Sit
her
by-
hands in her lap and just watch the sermon like
Sit by Margaret.
she's
All right.
supposed to be there almost.
Yeah.
Silas is gonna hang back by the door. They have the axe strapped to him, but they don't have it out yet.
Excellent. The usher at the door is just sort of staring. You're in your direction. It's hard to say exactly where they're staring because they have no eyes. But they are staring in Silas's direction. As you all take your seats, she stops and looks over and says, "We have new congregant. We have new congregants. What brings you before us? Confess your sins so that we may know."
Thought Episcopalians don't confess.
"Oh, this is merely a shell of a building we've borrowed for space. I speak of truth I learned in the Horn."
Can't argue with that.
I'm going to rise up out of my seat and my hands reach forward and grip the pew in front of me. And I go, I did something very, very wrong. I hurt someone irrevocably. I unknowingly, but still
It is
The
okay, my
damage-
child. She puts a hand on your shoulder.
oh, she's come to me.
She walks up to you and puts a hand on your shoulder. It is okay, my child, please.
The damage I've done can't be undone.
Nothing is undone but by blood.
All I can do is ask for forgiveness from all of you. I turn to our little party here, from the ones I hurt, which, believe me, I'm going to be giving, well, I'm going to be taking a visit soon after this. And to whatever the fuck brought me here. But I did my time. My mind broke.
And you feel
the
like
crime that doesn't fit this punishment. It doesn't fit any of their punishments. Why do you get to say that they should tear out their eyes?
I speak only the word. See, I do not prescribe punishment, nor does the horn, nor does the God machine. The only thing that comes to Gabriel's horn with you, my love, is what you bring. It's not my place to forgive you.
So what? This is all just self-flagellation?
Now you're starting.
Everyone's doing that to themselves?
Yes, now you understand. Now you understand what the power. Now you understand the meaning. And with that enlightenment, you can follow it to its natural course. Yes, everyone here is doing it to themselves.
Needs to stop.
I can't make you stop feeling guilty. But blood can. Look at Henry. You see the dude that's like breaking his arm. He was
a trooper.
He was taught as a child that expressing love for himself was filthy, vile. And he's carried that damage with him. But now, he's working through the pain. And you, at that moment, his arm like compound fractures, and you just see the two tips stick out straight up.
This isn't. He shouldn't. I'm looking to everyone else to kind of like
I can't
almost for backup.
I can't control what anyone does with their own guilt.
Okay,
You
can
can't?
control it. You can't control it, but like.
Then what are you doing here?
I'm here
Why are you up there in the pulpit? Why are you telling them all to pluck their eyes out?
to help.
You're not helping. You're making it worse.
I'm making friends.
These aren't your friends.
Is this your penance?
She stops at that and takes a step back. I don't think I like talking to you very much.
Oh, but you made the
Feelings
mistake.
neutral.
So I also come up and they're like gently put a hand on Margaret's shoulder. See, you could have ran away with this and had a grand slam, home run, whatever sports reference. I don't get it. But you made a flaw. One tiny little flaw.
Margaret is holding Silas's hands and squeezing it a bit.
You fucked up the landing. You want to play on people's feelings of guilt and think that the only way to get through guilt is to suffer. After all, it's natural. You feel guilty over something. You feel guilty over pain, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, something that you've done, some wrongdoing, some debt. So naturally, you owe something. And what's the quickest way but this? But I think that you're enjoying this a little too much. Am I wrong?
I'm enjoying this plenty, but I am but a servant. I'm an aspect. I am merely a denizen of this place who's been here far too long.
Beautiful excuse for sadism.
Oh, I'm not getting any pleasure out of this.
Then why don't you stop it?
Because maybe if enough of them bleed, I can get out.
So it's
There
about
it is.
them. It's about you.
Yeah.
Blood never healed anything but by stanching its flow and becoming a scab and a scar to remind so that things don't happen again. The world is adaptational, just like its denizens. Things evolve, that's learning. People learn, they become different. What we go through determines who we become, what we become, and what we do with it. Volt was the closest thing to evil we could ever see, but he has no place here. Instead, you're taking the damaged and breaking them, not mending them, not healing them, not helping them metabolize their guilt into something that could become positive, something that could give back to the world, something that through tragedy and fire might come through the other side, steeled for the struggle ahead to make something better of the world. This whole species drowns in vice and horror. And with this power, you choose to do this. And you've been doing it, I'm guessing, a long time, and you're still here.
You act like I've chosen this for these people. The horn only takes who comes to it. But for now, for this new... Can't you feel it? Can't you smell it? It's exhilarating, isn't it?
If you're not leading them here, then who's ringing the bell?
No, they're also trapped. They're trying to get out themselves. That's what's going on here. The horn is doing what the horn does. They're prolonging it. It's not that they're not the puppet master. They're just another puppet on strings who can't figure out how to get out. What are you guilty over?
I think I've found a way. And she looks over at the person who has now pulled out not only their eyes, but a significant length of their optic nerves as they just keep digging into their own face.
Do you feel
You
close?
would be gone by now. You would have won. You would have succeeded. Then you haven't succeeded. Therefore, your definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. And assuming you get a different outcome, you keep doing this to every individual, and yet you're still here. Which implies to me that this isn't a method this isn't a worthwhile method to get out. What are you guilty over? You need to resolve that. That's how you do it. That's clearly how you do it. And prolonging their pain doesn't do that, because you can always say you need more pain for guilt, and that's what they're going to think. Because as far as they're concerned, you are an entity of this world, right? Yes?
She sits down on the floor. I don't know.
You don't know what you're guilty over?
I've been here so long, I don't know who I am anymore. I only know that it wants pain. It's
Are you feeling guilt over making them feel pain? Is that what this is? Have you gotten to the point where you've created a guilt feedback loop so that you feel guilt over causing them to feel guilt in this way? Because that would be the most reasonable explanation as to why it hasn't been able to resolve.
I don't have a choice.
We all have a choice.
No,
Who's
hold on.
making you?
Yes.
My nature is making me. I don't know what else to do. I ran. When I first got here, I ran. I ran as far as I could, and then that damned fog came and it brought me back here. And then I ran again, and the fog came, and I came back here.
What were you running from, sister?
The horn. What do you think?
You didn't know it was the horn back then. What were you running away from?
No, I mean now. I mean, I don't know what the crude matter that this used to puppet about did wrong. I don't know when that was. I don't know what happened. I know that I became aware that things were wrong last week.
And before that?
Is a haze of blood and sensation, pain and regret, and the occasional elation of someone coming out the other side of the horn.
And what got them through the other side?
Penance.
Penance implies forgiveness. A never-ending loop of pain is not penance.
I can't grant forgiveness.
Nobody said you do. But you are here, and you have taken up the mantle of a guide. Your sermon is nothing less.
So,
Indeed, you are the guide. If you cannot escape. Oh, your penance is them. That makes more sense.
I don't know what my penance is. The penance is supposed to fit the crime, the sin.
Yes, so presumably you were selfish. And since you couldn't get out of your own accord, I would wager, if your nature is telling you to guide them, that is the horn trying to enact its penance upon you. In which case, your job might be to clear out the horn. And doing it this way obviously is ineffective. But in your haze and misunderstanding, which understandable, feelings are weird, I'm speculating right now. I could be wrong.
She starts to weep a little bit.
I'm not good with crying people. I would wager that your penance is to help other people get out.
I don't have anywhere to go.
You don't need anywhere to go. They come here.
Earth?
You don't understand. I've been here a long time. Maybe that's why I couldn't leave.
Or given the good.
I'm certain my body is long since gone.
A better release than this forever.
I'm gonna look around just the chapel, like specifically the congregation. They're all doing various methods of self-torture?
There are a few that are just crying, by the way.
I was gonna say, are they, or have we caught their attention?
Are
They haven't seemed to stop. They don't seem to be paying any attention to anything but their
they're
own.
not paying attention? Are they? I'm guessing there are various states. There are some people that are like face zipper girl. There are some people like are. How many people here are too far gone? Is what I'm asking.
As you look around you, you see probably of the roughly 100 people that are in this building right now, probably 40 of them are currently injured to a degree that you are concerned that they will not survive without immediate intensive medical attention. Of the remainder, probably 3/4 of those are going to be maimed if in fact they walk out of the horn with the same wounds that they're carrying right now. As far as too far gone to save, it's hard to tell just by looking at them. Though there are probably 3 or 4 other people that are disfigured to the point that you assume that those are also sins that have been trapped rather than actual denizens of the town. Other than that, though, most of them look like it's people of the town have been brought in. And you can plainly see that, like, even the few that are just sort of silently weeping and not really beating themselves up, it becomes very clear to you that there is some force that, for whatever reason, is not affecting any of you, that is driving them deeper into their own guilt for whatever transgressions they may have committed or imagined. And they seem to be so wrapped up in it that they aren't able to process anything but their own sort of drive to self-mutilate. Whilst that is going on, out in the car, Arlo, what are you doing?
As I was joking about in chat, Arlo is kind of hanging out, trying to process things a little bit more. They've spent a good part of the last few hours passed out in one capacity or another.
You hear a horn honk, Arlo.
Like a car horn,
Like a car horn.
not from our car.
Not from your car. You look over and you see the cardboard cop car. It is a like old school squad, like boxy, like 70s era.
Yeah.
The kind of cop car you'd have seen in the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Parked by the side of the road with a cardboard cutout in it. And the horn just honked at you. Well, it just honked. Might not have been at you. You don't know.
Cautious but curious. And it's not too far down the road. I can't like run
No, it's
back to
like a couple blocks. You can get up and run over there if you wanted to.
Yeah, they'll run over there and have a look.
As you run over, you can see in the seat in front of the cardboard cutout, much where its lap might be, you see a note. Like a piece of paper with some writing scrawled on it.
They'll grab the note and hopefully be able to read it.
You do read it. It looks like it was printed out on like a dot matrix printer.
Okay, so a little old school.
And it says, the purification of flame will seal the whole.
The purification of
Oh my God, it is Carnival.
I don't want to light everything on fire.
Anymore.
No, they haven't been the person to really light shit on fire. They were going to light the zombies on fire. But there's a difference between going to and doing.
Look at this guy, but I just stopped.
I just quit arson. While you
arson is one of the crimes they have not committed. Thank you.
I just got my 3-week chip. Damn it.
while you
Uh,
while you're ruminating over whether or not to commit arson, back inside, she's sitting there and she says, "I don't know that I have a body anymore."
Then pass on and feel the joy that you've felt others have.
If it's really, really death is the thing you're worried about, I feel like you misunderstand the purpose of this place.
What else would be I want to go home. Whatever that is.
You want to go to a place you do not remember at all existing. As far as you're aware, your home could literally be on the moon. Yes?
Anything would be better than this. Look around
Such
you.
as
Then why is potential death a deal breaker?
Then why what? I'm sorry?
Why is potentially dying a deal breaker then? Because if anything's better, then
So
death is anything.
how do I die?
Well, if my speculation is correct, you have to actually help these people. Your punishment is to help them. That's why you're driven to help them, just as they're driven to self-mutilate. But you're not helping them. You're indulging the mutilation when you should be legitimately helping them. That's the best speculation I have on this, because you're not driving yourself to mutilate, are you?
No.
Okay. You know what? Let's find out. Slaps knees, stands up, walks over to the guy who broke his arm.
Mm-hmm. He's now twisting it like he's trying to remove the end of it.
Hey.
He doesn't seem to be paying any attention to you.
I physically grab the sides of his face. Hey.
He looks up at you and then he looks down at his arm and goes,
Yeah. I know. That's something, but I need you to lock in, okay?
He nods.
So why are you here? What do you feel bad about?
It's the fog, and all we could hear was the church bells, so we came here. And
Yeah. What are you guilty about?
It's kind of a personal question, isn't it?
We're well past that, pal. You're in here breaking your arm, and we're way past personal. I need you to really just open it on up, okay?
Out of character, the priestess told you what he's guilty about.
Yeah, but I want to hear him say it.
Okay.
pervert.
I just wanted to make sure.
He says, I thought about Princess Leia a lot.
Who didn't?
I mean, I did.
Bro, we all either want to be with or become really sexy people, That's fine. And so what? You thought about it, so did I. 2 arms. Why do you feel bad about it?
It's dirty.
I'm basically going to be doing the same thing Christian's doing. I'm just going to go pew to pew, find really the most non-sin looking people I can find, grab them, shake them, and go,
bring the nun with you and have her watch.
yeah.
All right. So
I didn't take her with me for a reason. I wanted you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 2 of you running around trying to get these people to admit their wrongdoings. What are Jason and Silas doing in light of this?
I will let Jason go first.
I'm not about to do that. These people, I'm not going around to help these people. This is not my job. I've set the apparent goal. I'm also remembering that I'm very tired. I'm gonna stand next to a pew, just kind of watch and hope that this works out, because I'm not a very charismatic individual. And I get the
Gonna go
feeling I'll
find
do
some
more
of the
harm
tomato
than
wine.
good.
That's
Ron
fair.
Howard voice, and that's why Jason stayed in the horn.
Almost certainly, but I'm going to. I did not build this guy to be charismatic in any way, shape, or form. I'm fairly certain I will hurt. I'll hurt
This has
people
just
more
been
than I'll help.
Jason's quest to take a nap. This entire chronicle.
Yes.
That's
Did you
what
build
Jason
him
is guilty of. They
Did
need
you-
a nap.
Did you build him to be logical?
I built him to be logical, but I built him to also know his weaknesses. And talking to these people is not going to be a thing that he's capable of doing.
He stayed
Yeah.
there for a long time.
100%.
That's fair. So
I'm willing to suffer
And-
for that.
what about Silas?
We're gonna do our favorite thing, which is we're gonna do something stupid.
I love it. Perfect time for it.
So I was gonna look at everyone, and they're looking at the other two, like running around, going one by one. And if one of them brings Sister Delgado with them, that's fine. But they're kind of they'll look to Jason. Come with me.
They'll look out the doors, remembering Arlo's out there.
What? Why?
Crazy idea. Bear with me on this. I will talk you through it as we go. And they're gonna like put a hand on Jason's shoulder, and if they don't fight it, they'll like bring them with them as they're
Okay.
going down to the pulpit.
What are
Okay.
we doing?
Arlo's peeking in the door.
Okay.
Arlo is making Molotov cocktails just in case.
Oh, okay. I was picturing you and then like the usher peeking over you, just like, what the fuck is happening?
Silas is like rapid fire, like a bee in Jason's ear as they're going. Okay, look, you're smart with computers, right? Like math, logic, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that this is this kind of world where logic and math meets morality, right? Like they're not equal to each other, but they're linked.
Yeah, that's the gist of it, from what I can tell.
So if we impact one, it impacts the other, right?
Yes, arguably.
Right. Okay, we're getting somewhere. And it's like they're halfway down, they're still ushering them. Okay. Their plan is to try and talk sense one-on-one with every single one of them.
They need the personal touch.
How do you feel helping me play priest?
Yeah, okay. What do you need me to do?
Gonna be gross.
Okay.
They're gonna
Dude,
stop.
go pull the angel out of your pocket.
Please don't build a bullhorn out of angel viscera. Oh, the next sentence I didn't plan on saying.
Well, not
There's
you
been a
asked.
lot of
My mind went to a
consensus
totally
like
different
that.
place about what was going to happen with that angelic viscera. So please, Silas, what did you have in mind?
Silas is gonna take their pocket knife, flick it open, and hold it out to Jason. In theory, in my working theory here, every single person here has been motivated by an extreme, either an extreme callousness, lack of nothing, or extreme guilt, right?
Yes.
So if we start flipping this thing around on the most extreme ends of the spectrum, that's got to make something happen, right?
Not necessarily something good.
Arguably, but something happening and something good happening are notably not the same thing.
If it causes a glitch to all of this, at least you get stopped temporarily, buy us time, give us a hint, give us something. It's better than nothing, right?
Okay, so if I'm understanding this, you want to cause another glitch to the glitch that is currently happening and hoping it solves the problem, which I know I should hate, but also computer programming tells me that works. It does. It has solved my thing. It has solved problems for me in the past.
You know,
This-
like when
Doesn't this sound kind of like blood washes away sin, though? This sounds like.
I'm letting her get to it.
they'll kind of look and they're almost there, like, yeah. So, shit, took one intro to programming class, so bear with me here. You ever had those programs where you had it and your teacher told you, okay, now intentionally try to break it. But by doing so, it would spit out some kind of code that would tell you why it didn't work, or at the very least, why it fucked up?
You want the troubleshooting aid to pop up.
Yes. So I'm going to need you to stab me in a minute.
Okay, I'm good.
And rub ashes into the wound.
What? Okay.
Bear with me. Just get up here and stand next to me.
Okay, fine. I guess I'm doing this. I'm too tired to fight you on this.
Can I try to get through to this guy before this happens? Because
Yes, there's a lot happening all at once. I'm just letting everybody get their bit together.
thank you.
Out in the front, Arlo, you're making Molotov cocktails out of, I assume, whatever.
That was mildly a joke.
Are you not making?
But only mildly.
I don't think we actually have the stuff in the car to make it at least
don't,
more than
as you're looking
bottle
around-
in other cars.
You realize that, like, literally everything is like there are doors hanging open. People just walked out of whatever they were doing and went into the church. So you could easily, if you wanted to, start going through people's liquor cabinets. You could run over to the gas station and grab all the booze from behind the counter if you wanted to, or like actual rubbing alcohol. Or you go to the gas station, just pump a can full of gas too, if you wanted to, or several.
I think Arlo's going to think twice before lighting everything on fire.
Okay.
And attempt to go into the church if wannabe Pyramid Head isn't stopping him.
Not at all. He kind of nods at you, like a coworker might passing in the hallway as you walk past.
Fun. So he's like me.
So let's look at what Christian and Margaret are doing. What would you like to rely on as you're trying to reach through to these people? I'm going to go ahead and give Christian. I'm going to go ahead and give you a +2 dice to this for your performance because I loved what you did. So what would you like to rely on as you're trying to change these people's minds or open their minds?
I'm going to use empathy.
Okay.
I will. Can I go with manipulation in its non-malicious form?
Sure. You're trying to get them to go to a place. Your intent doesn't necessarily matter. You're trying to make them go to a certain direction. So I'll allow that. Yeah, that makes sense.
I love the old World of Darkness book. Manipulation isn't necessarily bad. Sometimes you convince a coworker to take your shift. You're not evil.
Right.
2 successes.
Excellent. And you were talking to the arm broken guy, right?
Yeah.
He starts weeping and just saying, like, I don't understand why I held on to that so long.
Because people gave you a bad rap. They tried to use this codified morality instead of just relying on the basics. Just don't violate anybody's agency.
I never harm anyone. I never harmed anyone. He then suddenly, like, his eyes go wide and he throws up on your shoes.
There you go. Let it all out.
And I'll give this to you as it occurs to you that he is now entering shock from his wounds.
Whoa. Okay. None.
While you're screaming for the nun, Margaret, you are also speaking. You had chosen whom?
Yeah, I wanted to go to a less fucked up looking person.
Right.
And if there's a microphone at the altar or the anywhere where the nun would have given her sermon.
Sure.
I would like to bring that with me and be speaking into it and go up to him, put a shoulder on him, shake him awake and go, "Hi, sorry you don't know me, but you're here and you're here for a reason. You're holding on to something. I don't need to know what it is, but I just need to, you are, right? There's something you just can't let go of. Am I right?
Go ahead and roll empathy manipulation if you'd like.
Gotcha. That is 5 dice for me. Roll. One success. Can I spend a willpower?
For 3 extra dice if you want to. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Nothing off that, so only one success.
She looks up at you and says, I was terrible to my children, and they're all grown and gone now.
Being a parent sucks. It's hard and it's confusing, and it's not like anyone tells you what to do. You're not Satan because you didn't know what you were doing raising kids. Are they still alive?
They're all grown on their own. I was so mean.
Not too late. It's not too late. You can reach out to them. You can say, hey, give them a call. Tell them you're sorry. Any of you. Have any of you told the people that you've hurt that you're sorry? Or have you just been telling yourself that you're sorry?
People start rocking back and forth. A couple people start wailing and screaming. Up at the front, Jason and Silas are doing what as you see Arlo walk in, or up at the front of the church, you see Arlo walk in through the doors. You hear this. A couple people are letting out their pain moans. Silas, you've asked Jason to stab you. Are you doing anything in preparation for that stab?
Yes.
Not stabbing you in the torso, just so you're aware. I refuse to stab you in the torso.
I want to survive, so yay.
Outer arm. That's what you get.
Yeah, okay.
Like where you would get a shot, because I know the artery's there. No chance of me hitting that.
Okay. It's just like a piercing. A really big piercing. Okay, nope. Bring himself up.
Why do you
And-
do this though?
Because
I understand the concept, but like I feel like it's too big. It's a bigger risk than you need.
we have to take the risk, because you see that? I think I just saw someone like start to tug on brain. If we don't do something quick, not only are we stuck here, they have no chance they're going to die. And they didn't belong here in the first place for something. They just got sucked in by whatever fucking wormhole that one dude made. So if I got to put a little skin in the game, and by skin I mean skin, is it nerves before fat or fat before nerves?
It's throughout both.
Oh, I'll be fine. And Silas is going to fish around in their pack and pull out that mug of ashes.
All right.
And they're going to just, there's no thought to it. Just whatever symbol comes to mind, they'll draw it right in their arm.
Excellent. Why don't you go ahead and roll wits and occult?
Do I have a cult is a good question. I don't.
Okay.
It's a storyteller. This
So-
is a chance die.
Excellent. Knock it out of the park. Let's see what you got.
God, I have seen what you have done for others. Nope, fail.
Glorious. Would you like to make that a dramatic failure for a beat?
Indeed, I would, because I'm all for the drama.
Excellent. You draw the symbol. As you draw the symbol, Jason, you draw back with the blade. That's where we'll wrap up for this week. So I guess we'll figure out what happened on Day of the Dead.
Damn it.
Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about tonight's session?
My complaint is don't end it there, man. 2 more seconds, man.
We don't even know if what we're doing is working before you hit debug. We're getting through to them.
All right.
I mean, I assume the fact that they're feeling their injuries probably means that it's working.
Right.
But I think it's going to be really funny having Arlo try to explain that the fake cardboard cop gave him a note that says something needs to be lit on fire for the horn to close.
Reaches into pocket. Here, Arlo, untangle this knot. Okay, everybody.
10
Just
seconds
detonation
later,
cord.
knots untangled next.
Now that I know what you are planning to do, I'm going to tell you what I thought you were planning to do with that Angel Icker. And I'm glad that you went the direction that you did, which is I thought you were going to chop it up into communion wafers. Was what I thought you were
You read my mind because my first thought was, you know what? Take the ichor, sprinkle in some kitty seasoning on there. Bam! Everybody eat. You get a little bit of like your penance, and bam, you're done.
I would have fought that. I'm at the edge of fighting this. I would have been like, no.
We're not feeding the biblically accurate angel to people.
I mean, as plans go, like
Audacious, yes. Helpful,
audacious.
Next week.
I gotta give it to you. That's I'm wowing.
like that was my immediate first thought was, oh my god, you're gonna feed this to the people.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It's just angel liquor.
I mean,
And that's how Silas ended up in the horn.
I mean, also not wrong. So I believe I owe you all some experiences. I think I was pretty good about giving everybody their beats when they resolved conditions this time.
Yeah.
So I think you all got any for that. And obviously,
One for playing.
you get one for showing up. Give me a half a second here. I will not. You all had to roll an awful lot of breaking points last time, and you'll probably have to roll a few next time. But I'm gonna
Not this
be
time.
real kind and not make anyone have to do any this time. Did you fulfill an aspiration, be it regular or dark?
Oh yeah.
not this time.
I'd like to believe that in a certain way, Margaret did fulfill her dark aspiration. She did get what she was owed.
Nice. I'll allow it. Take a beat and find a new aspiration.
Took by instinct and finding answers about what I am and what I can do.
All right, you may take beats for both. Anybody else fulfill any aspirations?
Faust didn't get to smack the flesh angel partner, so no.
That's fair, but given what you've learned, if you want to call that as resolved and say, you know what, I'm at peace with that shit now, given the givens, I would allow you to take the beat. If you don't feel that that's appropriate, don't take the beat and keep the aspiration. That's up to you. But I think that you've undergone enough of a worldview shift that it would be believable. If that
I'll
makes
keep
sense.
it, but more so in the fact that their definition of hurt has changed.
Okay.
So we'll keep it unresolved right now.
I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see. Did anyone's conditions cause a situation that would grant you a beat by virtue of the condition but not resolve that you're aware of? Okay. I handed out the beats for the dramatic failures when they were taken. Nobody took lethal damage, amazingly.
You to Silas getting themselves cut open at the altar.
So those would be your beats. Yeah, there's going to be, don't let me forget, there will be breaking point rolls involved in that on both ends. Like, you know, I'm not saying you can't stab yourself, but or even sit still long enough for someone to stab you, but that's going to require a whole lot of like emotional negotiation on both ends for you to go through with that.
I've had a lot of moments in Vampire where the GM's like, roll humanity for what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
It's fair. All right. So that I think wraps us up for the night. So I just want to remind you, if you're at home and you are liking what you see, this scenario, after a fashion, I have made a few changes, is part of Shards of Contagion, which is currently over at Storyteller's Vault, and was co-written by myself and some other lovely folks, a couple of folks that have worked on Chronicles. Kelly from Dork Tales was involved in the writing, particularly of this segment. So my apologies to Kelly for all the ways I've butchered the beautiful adventure you wrote. But having said that, though, that is available. Also want to remind you that Onyx Path Game Night is this weekend. It's Friday night. It's orchestrated through Start Playing Games, and you can... Basically, it's set up to let you get together with other people and try out Onyx Path games. If it's a game you like and are familiar with, you can set up to run that game through Start Playing and solicit players to come join you. If it's, you could even try out something new. They came from Beyond the Grave on sale right now over at Drive Thru RPG. You can get the jump start for something like 20 cents. It's absurdly inexpensive as part of our 10-year anniversary. So you can go pick that up. You have a ready-made scenario with ready-made characters. Sign up to run a game. Put a couple bucks in your pocket and learn a new system with your friends, or with new friends that you might meet via the internet. We also, over on our Discord, have a Looking for Group channel and a channel that is dedicated to game night. So if you want to head over to the Discord and join up, that's another option that you have for finding some folks to sit down and tell a fun story with. It's spooky season. Tell a spooky story. And of course, I would be remiss if I did not remind you all that God is currently our fundraiser over on BackerKit. We have met the goal for God, and we've even stretched God out a little bit. But we could use some more.
You know damn well what you're saying.
Didn't want to say it, but I was waiting for someone else to say it.
So please head over to BackerKit and support Scion God. It is an amazing book, and it already has a couple of amazing stretch goals unlocked. And if you back to get the PDF, you get all those stretch goals automatically. It is being done through BackerKit rather than Kickstarter, but some of your stretch goals and the totals that unlock stretch goals are only applied for the fundraising campaign, which has about 27 days left on it. So lots of room to reach for the stars and see how far we can push this thing. So if you've already backed it, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for going on this new venture. BackerKit is new in this respect. So thank you for joining us in that. And please tell others about it. If you haven't backed it, head over there. Consider even just tossing $5 at it to get the manuscript. And if you like what you see, then you can back for a complete copy. You have a few days, a few weeks to review it and look it over. I guess that's it for paying the bills, as it were. I have been Travis. My pronouns he, they, and when I'm not running games, I'm writing them. Go buy all of the wonderful games and tell the people at your friendly local game store that you would like a copy of Skyland's Dead Man's Rust. I would appreciate that deeply. And you, I think, would too, once you have it in your little hands. And if you want to watch masterful cosplay included Dead Man's Rust actual play, the folks over at Devil's Luck are starting their Rust and Remains stream this weekend. And I don't know if you haven't seen, go on Twitter and look for I think it's Team Devil's Luck.
They're amazing.
The costumes are nuts. And Connery was, who's their head storyteller, was one of the writers on Rust. So I look forward to seeing what aspects of the campaign that they will be focusing on. I will be in the chat most likely, just cackling with glee throughout the course of the stream. So if you have not yet done so, please head over to Devil's Luck Gaming and give them a follow. And while I am typing all that in the chat, let's have our outros. Let's start things off with Arlo, because you weren't here for the intro. So please tell us who you are, what you do, who you played, pronouns, and anything you would like to promote.
I am James. I was playing Arlo Keen, who is currently trying to decide whether or not to light the church on fire, as we do. They'll make sure the friends got out, but creepy nun vibes. Religion wasn't their thing to begin with. Nah, this place is
There
getting
were
burnt to
other
the fucking
innocent
ground.
people in the church.
Do you think
People.
Arlo cares about innocent people anymore?
Arlo stayed in the horn.
And that's
People
how
burn.
Arlo can't stay in the horn.
Yeah, he's
At
immune
least
to
as
the
far as
horn
we
now.
know.
They describe bodies stacked like cordwood for a reason.
Both of our pronouns are he, they. Sorry, I got way off topic.
You're fine.
because It has been a day.
It's the end of
I should-
end of a long night. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I should not be late next week unless the worst should happen.
Well, let's hope that that does not happen. And I appreciate you stopping through the course of literally moving like across the country to join us. It means a lot. Thank you for being here.
I needed the break.
Well, hopefully you got some joy this evening. And speaking of joy, Silas gave me a great deal of joy tonight. So please give me your pertinence. Thank you so much for everything you just keep giving me, Mint. I really appreciate it.
Joy or headaches will to be determined. Hi, everyone. I'm Minspo. You can call me Minty. You can call me Mint. Anyone works. My pronouns are any because we love being gender fluid. I've been playing Silas. The you know what? They're gonna see your level of crazy and they're gonna double down on it. You can catch me here on Twitch at Minty_Bo. I'm trying to start streaming every other weekend as school allows. Pretty much just some nerd games and stuff, VTubing, that kind of thing. So if that's your thing, maybe check me out in a bit. And if you like to see, stay around. For anything else like this you want to see me in, I am with Restless Barbarian Gaming's Hunter Chronicle, and I actually have the link at the ready this time. Not going to catch me unawares this time. But yeah, Restless Barbarian, we're doing a Halloween kind of short Chronicle of Hunter 5th edition. Very fun, very spooky. Ooh. I'll slap that in the chat.
Slap it in the Zoom chat because otherwise it's gonna eat it, and I'll paste it over. Thank you.
I got you. I learned my lesson last time, y'all. I'm improving. The brain is gaining a new wrinkle.
You are a learning computer.
Exactly.
A very, very, very starting from square one. Anything else? You can catch also both James and I over on Crow/Blake Slay Productions channel. We were both in Neon Gore, which may or may not be coming back for another season soon.
Nice.
As long as some other projects that are in the works. Very, very fun. Anything else? I was gonna give y'all a reward and show my cat Otis, but he is trying to knock all my shit off my bathroom counter, so he's not going to be making an appearance. But that's all my pertinence. Anything else? Definitely go check out those books. Go check out those Kickstarters and backer starters and all that good stuff. It's a lot of fun material.
Well,
Join in for the game night, support local game stores and all that, support lesser known tabletop systems. Definitely check out Dead Man's Rust, because if I haven't had the chance to get my hands on it, it's on my wish list. But if it's 1/8 of the narrative talent we've seen from Travis just from this chronicle alone, it's going to be worth its weight in gold.
It's very sweet, and it's not going to save you. But thank you. I appreciate it.
It was worth a shot. I know I've talked a lot. My last bit is go make sure you've eaten today. Otherwise, both Silas and James are going to show up in your house tonight.
See, there you go.
And they're going to be carving on you.
Oh, pizza is going to send out for you if you're old enough to get that joke.
We just had an age check, didn't we?
And that will bring us, I guess, if I'm following a clockwise pattern, to Jason. Please, your pertinence.
all right. So I'm the Will. I was playing Jason Smith. I'm a he, they. He's a he, him. I don't exist online in any meaningful capacity. However, I am a member of the Rolling Nomads. You can find on twitch.tv/the Rolling Nomads, on youtube.com, the Rolling Nomads channel, and at _Rolling Nomads on Twitter. It's been wonderful, been fun, been going to get terrible, I imagine. But it's the spooky month. I'm here to be spooked.
I'm glad that you're receiving some spookification, and I look forward to wrapping this up on the Day of the Dead. And I think it's a fitting holiday for a
Yes.
final stream. And last, but no, not last at all, but next to last, we have Margaret. Please, your pertinence.
Hi, I'm Sasha. I am she/they. I have had the absolute pleasure to play Margaret Stark, a she/her, who has wonderfully broken today.
And I want to thank you for giving me the permission and the tools to snap you into itty bitty pieces in front of an
Of
audience.
course, I love it. I love it.
Excellent. Did you have
I love
anything?
getting broken?
Did you have anything you wanted to share?
Just
Sorry.
shout outs. You can follow me at Twitter at Hey I'm Spidey. Other shout outs, just have a fun, safe Halloween, everybody. Love you all.
Please do watch out for razor blades that don't exist in your candy and all that good stuff. But maybe wear something reflective though. That would be a
Don't
good
go
tip.
trick or treating at the
Don't
guy
wear
who
Mickey
has. Don't go trick or treating at the farm with the guy with the pigs.
See pig farmers run.
My sincerest
Thanks, Daddy.
apologies to any pig farmer I may have offended with the story arc.
I know a couple pig farmers who are straight up like, no, that's fair. 1 out of 5.
Fair enough. And now, last but not least, please, Christian, your pertinence.
Hi, I'm Kevin Zarnicki, he, him, playing Christian Donovan, he, him. You can follow me on Twitter at Necromancy101. That's about the only place I am now since Facebook done zacked me. If you would like to get into voiceover or tabletop development or writing or anything like that, I do coaching and tutoring these days. So if you're interested, you can email me at kevin.r.zarnicki@gmail.com, just like it says in the description. Aside from that, put a little food aside. If we're looking for some good advice nobody's heard, there's droughts and stuff happening all over the world. Ukraine provided a lot of food, a lot of places. Just put a little something aside for an extra cold winter. An extra blanket and a few cans of soup or something. You won't regret it.
Yeah, you can never be too prepared, I would say.
Yeah.
And that is solid advice. And the last thing I will leave you with, I know we're over and I appreciate everyone's patience, so I'll keep it brief. Wash your freaking hands, get a freaking shot, wear your freaking mask. Much love, and have a happy, safe Halloween. We'll see you next week. Bye.